The sweet sisters you saved from a killer as children grew into dangerously obsessive women with eyes only for you. To keep you by their side, they gave you an international company worth 100 billion. They even took advantage of a time you thought was safe to give you to soft, adorable daughters. It all began 4 years ago, when you were set up and ended up sleeping with the daughters of Jingda's powerful Mi family. Those 2 women were the very sisters you had saved as a child. Remembering that you had saved their lives, they neither mistreated nor sought revenge against you. Until 1 year later, the Mi sisters came to your door, each carrying a baby. You stared at the 2 soft, adorable children, and 99 paternity test reports from professional agencies in China and abroad. You were dumbstruck. Getting 1 woman pregnant in one go was one thing. But how did one go get to women pregnant? But from that day on, you attended school during the day and spent each night in a 100 billion luxury mansion, living the miserable life of an exhausted dad. Now, you held the gifts you bought with your scholarship money and nervously knocked on the study door. Only after a lovely, mature voice inside said, "Come in." Did you open the door and enter? Mi Cai stood by the window with the book in hand. The instant she saw you, she seemed like a glacier beginning to melt, her face softening into a gentle smile. Curiously, she pointed at the bag in your hand. "What's that?" You glanced at Mi Cai's Richard Mill, worth tens of millions, and suddenly felt ashamed of yourself. "My scholarship came in. I bought a little gift for you and your sister." Hearing that you had bought her a gift, a flicker of obsessive delight flashed through Mi Cai's eyes. "Then let me see." You quickly handed the bag to Mi Cai, explaining a little sheepishly, "I bought 2, and they're identical. I've been imposing on you both for so long. They're not expensive, but this is all I can afford." Mi Cai said nothing. Silently, she unwrapped one of the necklaces. Inside was a necklace of joined red and blue, with a dolphin carved from sapphire at its center. "I love it." Mi Cai smiled. "I remember this one cost 100,000, right? Was your scholarship enough?" "It's fine. My scholarship was just enough." You sighed and gave a bitter smile. "I only take care of the children. You to cover all our everyday expenses." Mi Cai watched as you lowered your head. Her twisted possessiveness was stirring inside her. She wanted to fuse you into her flesh and blood at once, so you could never leave her again. But it was not time yet. The sisters had planned for so long. They could not risk a single mistake. Your thoughtfulness is what matters most. Smiling, Mi Cai removed from her neck the necklace worth 1 million and put on the one you gave her instead. "Thank you. I really love it." Hearing that, you felt touched, but your guilt grew even deeper. The Mi sisters had been very accommodating toward you. They never made things difficult for you or looked down on you. They even put luxury cars, villas, and bank cards at your disposal. Of course, you had never used any of them. You did not need such things for school, and you felt too embarrassed to accept them. But what you did not know was that you were already prey caught in their trap, destined to be imprisoned for life by the trap built from the Mi sisters' twisted love. "Sis, I'm back." The door to Mi Cai's study swung open. The only person who could swagger into her study so freely was her younger sister, Mi Ran. "Brother's here too." Mi Ran walked over with a smile. "Sis, did brother need something?" "Yes, he bought us gifts." Mi Cai smiled and handed the remaining unopened gift to Mi Ran. Then she pointed to the dolphin necklace around her own neck. "Yours is the same as mine." When Mi Ran saw the necklace around Mi Cai's neck, she eagerly opened hers and put it on. "Thank you, brother. I love it. I'm sorry. My scholarship only went this far. When I earn more later, I'll try to buy you both something better." The sisters exchanged a smile. To them, as long as it came from you, they would treasure it dearly. "By the way, didn't you buy brother a gift, sis?" Mi Ran asked Mi Cai. "Brother can't refuse this time." Mi Cai took a black box from her desk. Inside was a wristwatch. Its intricate detailing and bold, commanding design made it clearly worth a fortune. You were about to refuse, but Mi Ran had already taken your right hand and fastened the watch around your wrist. Mi Cai's gaze suddenly turned dark. A chilling aura slowly radiated from her. You could not help shivering. Why had it suddenly become so cold? It was only October. "Brother, please accept it." Mi Ran sensed her sister's terrifying aura, yet smiled at you as though nothing was wrong. "Don't worry. It isn't expensive." "Not expensive?" You looked at the uniquely designed watch on your wrist. There was no way it looked cheap. "Oh, Wire and Zur are awake." "Brother, go check on them." Mi Ran winked at you. My sister and I have something important to discuss. All right, I'll go now. Hearing that your daughters were awake, you hurried out of the study. Mi Ran closed the door, then turned to her sister, who was radiating a sinister chill. She let out a soft laugh. Sis, is that really necessary? We agreed we'd share him. Why are you still angry? After leaving the study, you rushed to the little one's room. The moment you opened the door, two adorable little bundles hugged you from either side. Come here, sweethearts. Daddy will hold you. As it happened, the two sisters became pregnant with your children at the same time. They even gave birth on the same day. Except, Mi Cai gave birth an hour before Mi Ran. So Mi Wire was the older sister, and Mi Zur was the younger. The little sisters wrapped their arms around Daddy's neck, then happily kissed Daddy on the cheek. Yet the temperature suddenly dropped again, and it felt even colder than before. It was only October. Come on, sweethearts. Daddy brought you presents. You could not shake the feeling that something was wrong. So, you hurried downstairs with the girls in your arms. You failed to notice the Mi sisters' dark expressions at the study door. Sis, I regret it. Mi Ran said coldly. I love Wire and Zur dearly. But why do they get to kiss brother openly? Because they're his daughters. A nearly imperceptible smile touched Mi Cai's lips, but her hand tightened slowly around the doorframe. Just wait a little longer. Sooner or later, he'll fall into our trap. When the two little girls saw the dolls Daddy had bought, they happily sat on the carpet and began to play. The girls were very well behaved. They never fought or competed, and they got along wonderfully. Your daily life now consisted of soothing the girls, feeding them, washing them up, and putting them to bed. When it came to these basic tasks, you had become highly skilled. So at mealtimes, there was a high chair on either side of you. Fortunately, the girls were both smart. They could eat by themselves with spoons and forks. Wire, eat your greens. You too, Zur. Otherwise, Daddy will not play with you. Picky eating was only natural for children. But, whenever you were there, the girls obediently listened to you. Such a double standard. Mi Ran unhappily pinched her daughter's little cheek. Why is that when Mommy tells you to eat vegetables, you refuse? Mi Ran had not used much force, but Mi Zur looked terribly wronged. Mommy hit me. Mi Ran was so annoyed that she laughed. Now, you've learned to tattle to your dad. Zur, Mommy didn't hit you. You rub your daughter's head. When Daddy isn't home, you must listen to Mommy and Annie too. Do you understand? That goes for you too. Don't focus only on the girls. Mi Cai picked up an abalone and placed it in your bowl. You've been working hard on that project lately. I'll have some supplements sent to your room later. No, I haven't even finished the last batch. You quickly waved your hands. Sister Mi, I'm in great shape. Please stop worrying about me. He usually called Mi Cai Sister Mi, and addressed Mi Ran as his junior schoolmate. I've reviewed your program. It's very good. Sell it to the company. We'll pay you 10 million in total. There will also be profit sharing afterward. That much. You froze for a moment. Sister Mi, I did the calculations. At most, it's worth only a few million. You have far too little confidence in yourself. Your program is worth that much. That is the Mi Group's venture capital department's assessment. Mi Cai said with complete confidence, just focus on your doctorate. Once the program launches, I'll have finance transfer the money to you. Thank you, Sister Mi. You let out a long breath. All your hard work had finally paid off. Brother is so talented. Wasn't this bound to happen sooner or later? At that moment, Mi Ran beside you blinked. All right, brother. Hurry and eat. The same goes for Wire and Zur. Stop clinging to Daddy all the time. Let Daddy eat more, so Daddy can spend more time with you. Those words warmed your heart. Since you began raising the children with the sisters, they had given you warmth you had never known before. You knew you were not worthy of them, yet still wished these days could last a little longer. At that thought, you suddenly felt dazed. When you imagined the day they would eventually marry, a faint stab of pain pierced your heart. Mi Cai and Mi Ran. You did not dare imagine being with either one. Yet deep down, you could not bear to leave them. The only person who had ever made you feel warmth before was your grandmother, now in a nursing home. But now, it was the sisters and your daughters. Your love for your daughters came from a sense of responsibility. But the tenderness the sisters showed you had slowly become something you depended on. Those starved of love often desperately crave affection. And the people giving you that affection were the very people you had once hurt unintentionally. The conflict between your sense of unworthiness and your longing left you completely lost. But you did not know that this confusion was exactly what the sisters wanted. After dinner, you took the two girls to play. Rarely, Mi Cai and Mi Ran happened to be free that day. They joined you and the girls for a while. Later, they helped the girls wash up. By the way, Yun Mo, there's something I think you need to know. Mi Cai watched as you dried Mi Wire's hair. Ruyan and your older brother are getting engaged. So soon. You were rather surprised. I thought they'd wait a little longer. Now, hearing that Ruyan would marry Fang Yuan, the man you hated most, you felt nothing at all. A heart does not die all at once. You no longer loved Ruyan, nor did you hate her anymore, because she was not worth it. Seeing your calm indifference, Mi Cai gave a soft laugh. I thought you'd be upset. How could I be? She and I have nothing to do with each other anymore. You shook your head. By the way, sister Mi, I'll probably be home late tomorrow. I need to visit the nursing home. Take the car. Mi Cai seemed deliberate, yet casually moved a little closer. The car was bought for you. You are Wire and Zuer's father, after all. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself. If you won't drive, then Mi Ran or I will take you. No, I'll drive. Having either of you take me would attract far too much attention. After getting the girls to sleep, you returned to your room and washed up. When you came out in your pajamas, a lovely floral scent filled the air. It was the calming diffuser in your room, a gift from Mi Cai and Mi Ran. You had sometimes slept poorly while developing the program. Since using the diffuser, your sleep quality had improved dramatically, but it had one side effect. It made you dream. They were dreams, yet they felt a little too real. In every dream, it felt as though someone was holding you. Sometimes, there was more than one person. You secretly took it to school and asked a chemistry professor to test it. He found nothing wrong with it. You also asked a medical professor to review the formula. He said the diffuser was excellent too. Its ingredients alone were clearly expensive and had likely been carefully blended. It had no side effects. As for your dreams, for a strapping young man like you, having dreams like that was perfectly normal, the professor explained with a teasing smile. It left you a little embarrassed, so you stopped dwelling on it. Come to think of it, you had been rather unreasonable. They had kindly given you the diffuser, and you had suspected there was something wrong with it. Still, something working too well was not necessarily good. You could not help yawning. Why was I even sleepier than usual? You lay down on the bed, and soon fell asleep. A few minutes later, the door slowly opened. Mi Cai and Mi Ran wore black stockings and slip nightgowns as they entered. Sis, did we use a little too much? Mi Ran extinguished the diffuser as she sat on the edge of the bed. This is the first time we've added the new drug. Brother will not have any side effects, will he? I had this drug tested 5 times. There is nothing to worry about. Mi Cai lay on her side to Yunmo's left. Her hand gently caressed Yunmo's face. At that moment, she could no longer suppress the mad love in her heart. Xiaomo. Mi Cai leaned close to Yunmo's ear, whispering like a succubus luring a lamb. Remember, Mi Ran and I are the ones who love you most. And you love us most, too. So, tell me, you won't leave us, will you? To their surprise, the sleeping Yunmo murmured as if talking in his dreams. No, I won't leave. Sister Mi. And my junior. That's right. You won't leave us. Mi Cai's whole body seemed to tremble, not from nervousness, but from utter exhilaration, as if her prey had fallen into the trap. Mi Cai smiled in satisfaction. Mi Ran seemed unable to contain herself. She stared at him with a sickly, obsessive gaze, a dangerous smile on her face. Brother, Mi Ran murmured, wanting to kiss Yunmo. Seeing that she could barely restrain herself, Mi Cai grabbed her hand. The hypnosis has only just begun. We've waited all these years. A few more days will not hurt. Mi Ran was about to object, but then she felt her sister's uncontrollable trembling, and saw eyes even more crazed than her own. Mi Ran could only give up reluctantly. How could they settle for that? What they wanted was for his body and soul to belong to them. The next morning, you woke and stretched. You had to admit, the diffuser worked wonderfully, and you had not dreamed last night. You had slept deeply. You did not even remember what, under Mi Cai's psychological suggestion yesterday, you had actually said. After getting up and washing up, you naturally put on the one the sisters had given you. The Knights of the Round Table watch. The 2 little girls were already awake. Their mother had told them Daddy was sleeping, so the little ones had obediently left you alone. Mr. Fang, you're up? Uncle Zheng said with a smile when he saw you. The eldest miss has gone to the office. The second miss is waiting to have breakfast with you. Xiao Kai left so early again. Yes, the eldest miss. Uncle Zheng froze. Xiao Kai. Yun Mo had suddenly started using such an intimate name for the eldest miss. Yet Yun Mo acted as he always did, holding the two little girls and smiling as he soothed them. The eldest miss had business at the office, so she left a little early. Uncle Zheng thought nothing of it. After all, Yun Mo was the two little girls' biological father. Besides, Uncle Zheng had been involved in some of what happened back then. He even wondered if Yun Mo had finally come to his senses. Brother, come eat. Mi Ran wore a pure white dress today. Around her neck was the necklace you had given her. I have to go to the office soon too. I have an event to attend. If it ends early, can I join you at the nursing home to see Grandma? Better not, you said, slightly embarrassed. The last time you went, the entire nursing home found out. I also need to go to school this afternoon. I'll be back early tonight. After thinking for a moment, you asked again. Xiao Ran, didn't you want those little cakes from that shop? Should I bring some back for you tonight? Uncle Zheng was stunned. Had Mr. Fang finally had an epiphany? How had one night's sleep made him seem like a different person? Whenever he faced the two young misses, he sometimes could not even get his words out. Today, not only had the way he addressed them changed, his way of speaking had changed too. It was even a little indulgent. Yes, yes. Mi Ran did not seem surprised in the least. Instead, she smiled happily. I want chocolate. Brother, it really worked. My sister truly is a genius. Wire and Zoo are like fruit flavors, right? Daddy will bring you some too. All right. You kissed each daughter once. Come on. Let's eat first. Uncle Zheng watched from the side, feeling that something was off. Yun Mo seemed no different from usual. Yet somehow, he was different. Forget it. In a way, this was a good thing. Uncle Zheng did not know what had happened, but the two young misses had gone to such lengths and paid such a price just to keep Yun Mo. As long as the young misses got what they wanted, he had nothing to worry about. After breakfast, you coaxed your two daughters into waiting at home, then went to the garage and found the limited edition Maybach. It could not be helped. The Bugatti was far too flashy. When Uncle Zheng saw Yun Mo leave in the Maybach, he was stunned once again. Even the guard at the gate was dumbfounded. A once-in-a-lifetime sight. A real first. Mr. Fang was finally willing to be a kept man. Second miss. Mr. Fang drove out. Uncle Zheng saw Mi Ran preparing to leave, and hurriedly reported to her. What's gotten into Mr. Fang? He's wearing the watch you and the eldest miss bought him. He's visiting his grandmother at the nursing home today. And he even drove the car you bought him. Isn't that a good thing? Mi Ran seemed completely unconcerned. Oh, right? Remember to contact them, and have the other car we bought for brother delivered as soon as possible. Mr. Fang, you really have fallen, Mr. Fang. Uncle Zheng sighed. Yun Mo had held out for so long. That was admirable enough. Still, he could not shake his unease. He could not understand how, after just one night of sleep, Yun Mo had become somewhat different from before. In the car, you could not help but sigh. The lives of the rich really are so dull and tedious. It was not as if you had never ridden in a Maybach before, but compared with this limited edition, the difference was plain to see. At the nursing home, you carried the fruit and supplements you had bought Grandma on the way. Everyone at the nursing home knew quite well. The last time Mi Cai and Mi Ran visited, they handed everyone in the nursing home red envelopes worth 20,000 yuan each. Even the cleaners and security guards received one. They even ordered lunch from a luxury hotel, treating the entire nursing home to a meal. So now, everyone at the nursing home, staff and residents alike, greeted you with the warmest, kindest smiles. Mr. Fang, you're here. A caregiver saw you and hurried over. Please, go check on her. A woman came today, bringing a young man to visit the old madam. They did not argue, but the old madam does not look well. A woman, a young man. Hearing the caregiver's words, you could not help but sneer. You did not need to guess who it was. As you reached Grandma's room, you heard a voice you utterly despised, spewing disgusting words. Mom, why make this so difficult? Those shares are useless in your hands. My father-in-law and Changshan are giving you and Xiaomo a chance. We're family. Why make things so ugly? Qin Ni, your biological mother, the president of Qin Jewelry, wore a custom designer suit. A young man in his 20s followed behind her. His hair was meticulously combed, and his features were soft and feminine. His complexion was a little pale. This man was named Zhang Sifeng. He was Kenny's assistant, as well the godson she had watched grow up. How about this, Mom? 5%. Xiaomo and Jinpeng get 5% each. You know Xiaomo does not work at the company. It would not be appropriate to give him too many shares. Kenny patiently tried to persuade her. Grandma lay in bed, gazing out the window, her face haggard as she said nothing. Annie Zhang, who cared for Grandma, glared fiercely at Kenny. If Grandma had not waved her off, she would have loved to slap Kenny. Annie Zhang's mother had been Grandma's closest friend for decades. Grandma Zhang's husband, Master Zhang, was a national martial arts master, and you were his sole final disciple. All these years, you and Grandma had relied on the Zhang family for help. Your grandfather and grandmother had always been estranged. Though they never divorced, they had already lived apart before raising you. Yet Grandma had always held 10% of Fang Group's shares. After you turned 15, the Fang family came every year to demand them, but Grandma had long made it clear to them. The shares were for you, and no one else was allowed to covet them. After Grandma fell ill and entered the nursing home, you went home and eventually cut all ties with the family. Your parents came about once every 3 or 4 months. They never cared about Grandma's health. All they talked about were the shares. Mom, why? How did our family end up like this? In the end, it was a mistake to let you raise Xiaomo. Kenny sighed. Look at that boy. Never mind Jinpeng. Even my godson, orphaned by both parents, is more obedient and sensible than him. You raised him, so I understand why you dote on him. But you do not hold a position in the company. Father-in-law gave you those shares back then. Yet now, you and he do not even see each other once a year. There is no point in letting things get this ugly. As long as you hand over the shares, I guarantee that what happened between you and Xiaomo will not be held against you by father-in-law or Changshan. Why? Thank you so much. Grandma gave a cold laugh. So I raised my child wrong. This is the first time I have heard of a mother dumping her 2-year-old son on his grandmother, then refusing to care for him herself, only to blame the grandmother when things go wrong. Kenny, you are so eager to raise someone else's son, yet you could not care less about your own. I made sure my grandson had a safety net, and somehow that was wrong too. Grandma's rebuke hit Kenny square in the face. Her face turned red, then white, yet she had no grounds to argue back. Grandma, that is not fair, Zhang Sifeng said with a hollow smile. His voice was as soft and feminine as his appearance, and lacked any strength. Godmother had to raise 4 older children by herself. She had no choice but to send her younger son away. Who gave you the right to speak? Grandma cut him off without ceremony. Kenny, is this the fine child you raised? When elders are speaking, an outsider junior dares to interrupt. Mom, do not make things hard for him. You will not even let him say a word. But you had no problem insulting your own grandson whenever you pleased. Was he your son, or was he born asking to be abused? Grandma gave Kenny no face at all. I will say it again. The shares belong to my grandson, Yunmo. As the saying goes, show devotion to your elders, and bring them joy at their side. Other than Xiaomo, who in your family has done that? Fang Yuan or your 3 daughters? I am just an old woman. I cannot afford to call the Fang family's young master and young ladies my grandchildren, nor do I deserve to have them keep me company. Instead of wasting your breath here, go back and talk sense into your husband and father-in-law. Heaven is watching everything you do. They gave him life but refused to raise him, and they mistreated Xiaomo too. Are they not afraid of being struck down by heaven? Kenny trembled all over. She shot Grandma a vicious glare, then gave a cold laugh and said, Mom, are you determined to burn every bridge between us, other than Yunmo, that ungrateful son, and these 10% shares? What else do you have? Your husband and son have disowned you. Your 3 granddaughters and 1 grandson want nothing to do with you. Seeing what you are like, I would work myself to death before letting you raise my son into someone like that. What is wrong with me? You walked in without expression. When Zhang Sifeng saw you, he instinctively backed up 2 steps and hid behind Kenny. But you did not even spare him a glance. You went straight to Grandma's side, comforting her in a gentle voice. Grandma, let me take them outside. Yunmo, where are your manners? Your elders are talking. Kenny deliberately threw Grandma's earlier words back at him. And another thing, I am your mother. Can you not see me sitting here? If you have something to say, say it outside. You did not turn around. Instead, you helped Grandma lie down, then tucked her blanket in. If you keep causing trouble here, You know what I am capable of. I'm not sparing you because you're my biological mother. I simply do not make a habit of hitting women. But I cannot promise the same for that pathetic sissy behind you. Kinni rose to her feet in fury. But she did not dare say another word. She knew exactly what Yunmo was capable of. He was Master Zhang's sole final disciple in national martial arts. When he cut ties with the family, the fallout had been spectacularly ugly. Fang Changshan sent 8 bodyguards, but Yunmo put every one of them in the hospital. Yunmo even knocked out 2 of Fang Yuan's front teeth with 1 punch. Grandma, I will send them away, then come back and keep you company. You place the fruit and supplements on the bedside table. Then turn to Annie Zhang. Annie Zhang, there are fresh cherries here. Please wash some later and have them with Grandma. Go on. Xiaomo. Annie Zhang shot Kinni a fierce glare. Tell me if anything happens. I have trained to. You do not hit women, but I do. You smiled and waved your hand. When you turned to your mother, your face immediately went cold as you pointed at the door. Outside, Kinni and Zhang Sifeng did not dare provoke Yunmo further. They could only grit their teeth and leave. The 3 went downstairs to the nursing home's courtyard. You were growing impatient. President Qin, when you came last time, my grandmother already made this clear. You can have the shares, if you pay their fair value. You want shares in a publicly listed company without paying a cent. You must be joking. Yunmo, you and your grandmother. Kinni sighed. Why make this so difficult? Why draw such clear lines between family? It is not as though we're taking your grandmother's shares and leaving you with nothing. How about this? I will give you another 3% of Qin Jewelry's shares. That is enough money to last you a lifetime. Stop right there, President Qin. I have cut ties with your family. You pointed at Zhang Sifeng beside her. Your voice edged with mockery. Your godson has 10% of Qin Jewelry's shares, and I only get 3%. That is not how a deal works, is it? I raised Sifeng from childhood. He has always been devoted to me. Even in poor health, he works tirelessly as my assistant. What about you? Kinni sneered. You are not my son. I will not give you a single cent. And you still want shares in my company. So it is my fault. You could not help thinking that your biological mother and your father were a perfect match. Equally shameless. You and Chairman Fang decided together to send me away. Now, you call me unfilial? Have you no shame? Little brother, how can you say that? Zhang Sifeng immediately stepped in front of Kinni. This is not Mom's fault either. If you want to blame someone, blame me. Get lost. You could not even be bothered to waste words on him. You clenched your fists. Terrified, Zhang Sifeng hid behind Kinni again. A trace of barely noticeable disgust flashed in Kinni's eyes. It was not directed at Yunmo, but at Zhang Sifeng. Do not come here again. My grandmother does not have long left to live. As you said that, your gaze at Kinni brimmed with even more hatred. Your husband, your father-in-law, and your children, including that pathetic sissy. I hope every one of you dies with no body left intact, and die horrible deaths. Hearing Yunmo's hate-filled curse, Kinni's heart clenched, yet she still refused to back down and shouted, Yunmo, you ungrateful son. You are just like your grandmother. You have read a few books, and now you think you are above everyone else. You are arrogant because of your little bit of talent. You will never measure up to Jinpeng or Sifeng. Of course not. After all, you raised your godson from childhood. Look how useful he has been. He has sucked you dry. You smiled suggestively as you looked at the 2 of them. President Qin, impressive. You really do have some wild taste. What the hell did you say? One remark from Yunmo made President Qin curse outright. What the hell are you talking about? Is this the conduct expected of a student at Kyoto University? Alright, my mistake. Ha. My fault, ha. You could not be bothered to look at him. It is people like you these days who have turned godfather and godmother into dirty words. What? You paused deliberately, then spoke with a faint, mocking smile. Could he be your biological son? Otherwise, why do you take him everywhere you go? Kinni's face went pale. Zhang Sifeng's eyes began to dart away uneasily. You gave a cold laugh. Just as I thought. Go back and tell Chairman Fang. If he wants the shares, bring the money. You did not want to look at her again. She disgusted you. Do not pretend to be close with Grandma and me again. If we acknowledge you, you are my mother and Grandma's daughter-in-law. If we do not, you are not worth a damn. You turned and left. But the humiliated Kinni rushed at you, raising her hand to slap you. You caught her wrist. You still want to hit me? I was a fool back then, forever treating you like my mother. Ms. Qin, do not make me hit a woman for real. You flung Kinni's hand away. Kinni was about to say more, but then she saw the watch on your right wrist and froze. There were countless knockoffs of the Knights of the Round Table watch, but Kinni was in the jewelry business and was a jewelry designer herself. Having attended Roger Deba's product launches, Kinni recognized at a glance that yours was authentic. That watch of yours. You looked at your watch, not understanding what she meant. Impatiently, you tossed out, "None of your damn business." Then you turned and entered the nursing home. "Are you okay, godmother?" Only after Yunmo had left did Zhang Sifeng hurry over. "Why don't we head back first? With Yunmo here, we probably won't get anywhere." Kinni did not answer. She merely stared blankly at Yunmo's retreating figure. When Yunmo raised his arm to check his watch just now, she became even more certain it was genuine. It was a limited edition worth over 4 million yuan. There was no way Yunmo could afford it. Grandma did own shares, but her father-in-law had ordered that much of the year-end dividends be withheld. Grandma received only 200,000 or 300,000 yuan, even if the dividends had not been withheld. Given what Kinni knew of her mother-in-law, she would never buy Yunmo luxury goods worth hundreds of thousands, let alone such an ultra-luxury limited edition. "Come back into the nursing home with me. There are some things I need to ask about." Mi Cai was working at the office when her phone suddenly received a message. She glanced at it, and her brows drew together slightly. Then, Mi Cai pressed the intercom. The door opened shortly afterward. A woman in her 30s entered. She wore a black business suit, with sharp short hair and a confident, capable air. "Sister Hui, Kinni is asking about us at the nursing home, though she does not know it was me Ran and me," Mi Cai said calmly. "It seems she has gone to bother Xiaomo's grandmother again. Find something to keep her busy." "Understood, miss." Sister Hui nodded. "Should I have my younger sister go warn her?" "There is no need. We have not moved against those 3 families, because they are still useful." Mi Cai smiled, but there was a chilling murderous edge to it. "As for Grandma, miss, we already did everything we could." Sister Hui sighed. "If you and the second miss had not spent so much hiring specialists, Madame Fang would likely have passed away then. She is Xiaomo's only family." Mi Cai's expression turned somewhat lonely. "I only want him to be happy." "Forget it. Go take care of it, Sister Hui. Find a way to get the news to the Fang family. I do not care about anything their family owns. I can give Xiaomo far more, but they must pay for those shares. Find a way to force them to buy Grandma's shares at full value." Inside the nursing home, Kinni felt the world spinning, treating everyone at the nursing home to lavish takeout from a high-end hotel, plus cash gifts of 20,000 yuan per person. Then there was the Knights of the Round Table watch worth over 4 million yuan on Yunmo's wrist. Kinni gritted her teeth. Had some wealthy older woman taken Yunmo as her kept man? She could not find out who it was. Mi Cai and Mi Ran's assistants had handled everything that day, and that day, Yunmo had taken Grandma out to reunite with the sisters and their daughter. Only the nursing home's director and a few executives knew. There was no way they would tell Kinni, that ungrateful brat. No wonder he has not contacted the family for so long. Kinni ground her teeth, but when she thought about it, with Yunmo's looks, not one person in the Fang or Qin families could compare to him. "Mom," Zhang Sifeng softly called out to her, but Kinni shot him a glare and said under her breath, "Have you forgotten what I told you?" Zhang Sifeng hurriedly corrected himself. "Godmother, why not go home and tell your husband? Yunmo really is being kept by someone. If word gets out, it will disgrace our family." Kinni did not answer. Instead, she grabbed him and headed outside. She stopped at the nursing home's main entrance. Kinni said quietly, "I need to find out exactly who that brat is involved with. Whether she is young or old, anyone that generous is unlikely to come from an ordinary family." She was afraid. Afraid Yunmo had connected with someone from one of Jingdu's elite families. Her guilty conscience made her fearful. Deep down, Kinni knew it herself. The entire family had wronged their younger son. They had treated him and Fang Yuan differently. Worst of all was the marriage arrangement with Liu Ruyan. It had been arranged by Grandma and the Liu family's old matriarch. Everyone in the family knew Fang Yuan had deliberately stolen Liu Ruyan away, just to spite Yunmo. Yet not only did they do nothing, Fang Changshan and Kinni, they had even helped Fang Yuan. In their eyes, Fang Yuan was the better match for an alliance by marriage with Liu Ruyan. After all, the eldest son would inherit the family business. The Liu and Fang families were of equal standing, and Liu Ruyan was the treasured daughter of the Liu family. The more appalling her actions had been back then, the more panicked Qin Ni felt now. Anyone spending so lavishly on Yunmo must truly like him. Jingdu's elite families were not people they could afford to offend. Even if it was not one of those families, it could still be a family as powerful as the Fangs and Qins. But Yunmo had seemed to be deliberately provoking her just now, claiming Zhang Sifeng was her biological son. Yet the look in Yunmo's eyes made Qin Ni uneasy. Clearly, her younger son knew something. That ungrateful brat. Qin Ni clenched her teeth. If he has really hooked up with a woman from some wealthy family, then Sifeng's secret may not stay hidden. You returned to the hospital room? Grandma asked with concern. Xiaomo, your foolish mother did not give you trouble, did she? I am fine, Grandma. She is not my mother anymore. You took an apple from the bag and began peeling it with a fruit knife. Do not overthink it. If they want those shares, let them have them. You silly child. They belong to you. Grandma scolded him affectionately. Once the Fang family falls into your father's hands, and Fang Yuan's, it will be finished. While I still have the strength, I need to cash out that money and give it to you. Whether things work out between you and the Mi family's daughter or not, this money will be enough for you. It was not that you were pretending to be generous. Rather, from what you knew of the Fang family, anything Fang Yuan squandered was considered acceptable. But spending even a little more on you paying them 10% of the shares would cost them around 600 million yuan at market value. They had promised to give you 5% later, plus 3% of Qin jewelry. They had made plenty of such empty promises. Those damn biological parents of yours were full of them. But when had they ever kept one? Grandma, let me ask you something. You cut up the apple and placed it on a plate. If I take revenge on my parents, my grandfather, and the rest of them, will you hate me? Grandma did not answer, nor did she take the apple you offered her. After a long while, the old woman sighed, her voice tinged with helplessness. I know you hate them. After I am gone, I will not care what you do to them. You had expected Grandma to say that. After all, your grandfather had been her husband for half her life. They had once truly loved each other, and there was the son she had raised herself. Now, her own grandson was going to fight her husband, her son, even the entire family. No matter how much she hated them, Grandma still did not want to see that happen. Your father was not always like this. It was all that bitch's fault. Grandma looked out the window, her eyes filled with regret. It is my fault. If I had found out sooner, your father would not have become like this. Was it President Qin? Hearing your question, Grandma shook her head and said, no, it was his first love, a dancer named Li Yuzhen. Forget it. Let us not talk about it. Xiaomo, you should go. I want to rest for a while. You said nothing more. After telling Grandma to rest well, you transferred Annie Zhang another 10,000 yuan. Though Annie Zhang kept refusing, you insisted she take the money. Xiaomo, Annie Zhang pulled you outside the room and lowered her voice. The old lady has been sleeping more and more lately, and her spirits are getting worse. You should prepare yourself. I know. Annie Zhang. You nodded. You knew Grandma had only gained these extra 2 years of life. Had come from the specialist Mi Cai and Mi Ran hired at great expense. At a cost of 2 to 3 million yuan altogether. You visited the nursing home nearly every other day. No matter how busy you were, you had to see Grandma. Over the past 2 years, aside from this latest bonus, you had spent all your earnings on Grandma. Grandma had developed a brain tumor. Without those specialists, she likely would not have survived. But the specialists had also said that even after removing the tumor, Grandma was already elderly, and treatment had been delayed for some time. Her brain had already suffered nerve damage. At the door, you looked at Grandma already fast asleep. Your eyes brimmed with hatred, grief, and rage. If the Fang family had not stood by and done nothing, Grandma would not be in this condition today. Leaving the nursing home, you were heading for the parking lot when Qin Ni and Zhang Sifeng stopped you. What else? You had no desire to waste time with them. I have made everything clear. Yunmo, you've got some nerve. Qin Ni sneered coldly. No wonder you are so cocky. A student at Jingdu University, being kept by some old woman. Have you no shame? Now you understood. These two had stayed behind until now, because they had likely learned what Mi Cai and the others had done at the nursing home. Do you think everyone is like you? Turn around and look at the one beside you. Look how frail he has become. You said coldly. Try not to wear him out too much. One day, he might just die in your bed. Stop saying, you. Then tell me, why do you take him everywhere with you? Why should I explain myself to you? Exactly. So, why should I tell you what is going on? Yunmo's words nearly left Kinni choking with rage. You shoved him aside and headed straight for the parking lot. That ungrateful brat. Kinni tried to catch her breath as she shot Zhang Sifeng a glare. You just stood there and let him upset me? Godmother. Zhang Sifeng was actually quite timid. He had also been there during Yunmo's confrontation with the Fang family. With a body like his, one kick from Yunmo could probably put him in the intensive care unit. Forget it. With your build. Kinni sighed. That ungrateful brat. Before she could finish, you pulled up in the limited edition Maybach right in front of Kinni. The window slowly rolled down. You said mockingly, Well, want a ride? Kinni was completely stunned. That Knights of the Round Table watch worth over 4 million Yuan. A limited edition Maybach. Just how much did the woman behind Yunmo like him? Zhang Sifeng shot Yunmo a venomous look, then immediately lowered his head, afraid Yunmo would notice. You rolled up the window, hit the gas, and drove away. Kinni was still reeling from the shock. Her phone suddenly rang. The moment she answered, a woman's anxious voice said, President Qin, where are you? Something has happened at the company. Our jewelry has been reported for being counterfeit. What? Kinni had only just recovered from her shock when she froze again. She might not have been a good person, but she had always valued honesty in business. If fraud at a jewelry company were confirmed, it would be a devastating blow. How could that be? There should not be a problem with any step of our process. As Kinni hurried away, she anxiously demanded answers. She completely missed Zhang Sifeng's guilty, evasive gaze. When Yunmo arrived at Beijing University, he parked and received a video call. The caller name read, Junior Mi. Usually, when the Mi sisters called him on video, it was because the children were fussing. Sure enough, as soon as he answered, two chubby little faces crowded the screen. Mi Ran stood behind them, smiling at him. Daddy. The moment Yunmo saw them, the frustration Kinni had caused him vanished without a trace. Good girls. Daddy still has work to do this afternoon, but I will get back as soon as I can, okay? Yunmo gazed lovingly at his two daughters. Mi Ran, why are you at home? No, sweetie, we are at the office. Mi Ran raised the phone and panned it around for Yunmo. They really were in his office. My sister booked a private restaurant today. We are having dinner out. Brother, when you are finished, remember to drive over and pick us up. Okay, I know. After coaxing his two daughters a little longer, Yunmo ended the call and got out of the car. But after only a few steps, he heard a teasing voice. Brother Peng, your little brother is doing pretty well. At the sound of that voice, all warmth vanished from Yunmo's eyes. He turned and saw Fang Yuan, followed by a fat man, with his female secretary beside him. Fang Yuan looked nothing like Yunmo, other than some resemblance to Fang Changshan around the eyes. He bore no resemblance at all to Fang Changshan or Kinni. The smug-looking fat man beside him was named Cheng Jiahao. He came from a moderately wealthy family. He and Yunmo had been classmates in high school. Back then, he was bullied because of his obesity. Yunmo had been the one to protect him. But later, just like Liu Ruyan, he betrayed Yunmo. Family, friendship, love. They had all abandoned him in his youth. Now, Yunmo felt there was nothing he could not accept. Some things, the earlier you endure them, the better they are for you. Fang Yuan glanced at Yunmo's limited edition Maybach. A flash of greed crossed his eyes. Then he sneered. Not bad. Yunmo, that handsome face of yours was not wasted. Which rich older woman did you hook up with? Yunmo was not surprised at all. This was his biological brother's usual tactic. Condemn him the moment he opened his mouth, not wanting to waste words on them. Yunmo could not even be bothered to look at either of them. Just as he was about to leave, Fang Yuan stepped in front of him. He held out his hand to his secretary. The secretary understood at once and handed him a gold-embossed invitation. Fang Yuan smiled meaningfully. Then he said, Ryan and I are having an engagement party. Surely you will not refuse to show up, little brother. Actually, I do not want to do you that favor. Yunmo adjusted his black-rimmed glasses. I have realized you are pretty funny. Fang Yuan, you treasure the friend I threw away. You are marrying the girlfriend I discarded. Are you an online thrift shopper or a professional junk collector? With that one remark, Fang Yuan's face turned a dark purplish red. Cheng Jiahao looked embarrassed as well. I know what you are worried about. You are afraid I will return and fight you for the Fang family. All these years, you have been scheming and stirring things up. Was this not what it was all for? Yunmo folded his arms and smiled as though he did not care. I cut ties with them. It has been over 3 years. Have I ever gone back? What? You got exactly what you wanted. So why are you still crawling back like a dog? Do you not want your front teeth anymore? At those words, Fang Yuan instinctively backed up to steps. He knew exactly how terrifying Yunmo was in a fight, but he simply could not let it go. At the root of it, it was probably because of Liu Ruyan. Yunmo just did not know it, and even if he had, he would not have cared. At least you know your place. Fang Yuan took back the invitation and said with feigned composure, but I did not come here for you. Do not flatter yourself. You think being kept by a rich older woman gives you the right to challenge me. I am the Fang family's only biological son. You are nothing but trash I drove out of the family. One correction. I was the one who rejected you. Yunmo suddenly felt he was wasting his time. He glanced at his watch, his expression growing impatient. If you have nothing else to say, move. Do not waste my time. Ha, you are in graduate school now, right? I have to admit, you do have some brains. Fang Yuan contemptuously glanced at the Knight of the Round Table on Yunmo's wrist. Your rich older woman is not very generous. She gave you a high-end knockoff instead of buying you a real watch. He did not have Mi Cai's discerning eye, though it was not surprising that he mistook it for a fake. After all, this Knight of the Round Table was a limited edition, and every piece had sold out before its release. The car could have been lent to him, but a watch like this, in Beijing, aside from the Mi family, few families had the means to get one. Yunmo had no idea what he was thinking, and could not be bothered to argue. If he could, he truly wished Mi Cai and Mi Ran had given him counterfeits. At least the watch would be cheaper, easing his burden considerably. Seeing Yunmo ignore him, Fang Yuan could not be bothered to pursue the subject. Instead, he continued boasting. Do you know why I am here today? To discuss a partnership with your school's research team. You just keep slogging away like a miserable loser. I was not talented enough to earn direct admission to Beijing University like you. My education does not measure up to yours either. But now I can work with your school's top research team. And you? Yunmo suddenly laughed. Is that so? Fang Yuan, you will not be getting that partnership. That is my word. Yunmo, who do you think you are? Cheng Jiahao walked over with a cold sneer. That plump face had once always worn a cheerful smile, but now it was marked by petty greed and cunning. Yunmo felt no regret. Everyone chose their own path. If Cheng wanted to become this kind of person, what right did anyone else have to interfere? You should hurry up and suck up to that rich older woman of yours. Cheng Jiahao gave Yunmo's car a disdainful look. I thought you were so high-minded. When you were with Liu Ruyan, you refused to let her spend her family's money, no matter what. Yet now, you have caved in. No need to be jealous. After all, you are standing next to a pig right now. That rich older woman probably cannot tell which one is the man and which one is the pig. Yunmo shrugged. I used to think you were human. Looks like I gave you too much credit. Cheng Jiahao shook with rage, but he knew he could not beat Yunmo. Yunmo smiled at Fang Yuan and turned to leave. After the steps, he looked back and said, Oh, right? Fang Yuan, remember what I just said. You will not get that partnership. Fang Yuan was unconcerned. Yunmo had already given up the Fang family. As far as Fang Yuan was concerned, his only enemy was gone. In fact, even though he had grown up at his parents' side, showered with affection, he had always felt deeply threatened by Yunmo. He was less handsome than Yunmo. His physical ability was inferior to Yunmo's, and academically, Yunmo completely outclassed him. When Yunmo returned home at 15, Fang Yuan had barely made it into an average first-tier university. With the Fang family's money, they could have sent him abroad to polish his credentials. But he was too afraid of Yunmo. No matter how good studying abroad might be, he could not leave the country. Because by then, Yunmo had already displayed talent far beyond his own. So he had always sought ways to undermine his younger brother. At school, Yunmo and the students Fang Yuan had paid off, had fought more than once. He knew those people could not truly hurt Yunmo. He only wanted Yunmo expelled. But the ones disciplined were always the people he hired. Yunmo never even received a demerit, let alone wrote a single letter of apology. After Yunmo earned direct admission, Fang Yuan even hired someone to expose online that the directly admitted student had been involved in fights on campus. Before the informant could act, he was suddenly arrested and thrown in prison. It nearly implicated Fang Yuan as well. It scared him so badly that he never dared try again. As for Yunmo's wild night with Mi Cai and her sister, the truth was that Yunmo had drunk too much that day. Fang Yuan had hired a bar hostess to ruin Yunmo's reputation, but Yunmo had vanished without a trace. That was why he had Cheng Jiahao betray him, and found a way to steal Liu Ruyan away. His family had always favored him. As long as he destroyed Yunmo's love and friendship, Yunmo would truly have no options left this time. Then Fang Yuan could keep Yunmo under his thumb forever. He would be the Fang family's only heir. So, when he saw that the person meeting him about the partnership was wearing a Beijing University research team badge around his neck, and it was Yunmo, his face looked like he had just eaten shit. "You are still so arrogant," Yunmo sighed. The heir valued by both Fang Changshan and Old Master Fang was such an idiot. If you had checked the university website, you would know my name is on the research team's roster. Though, that is hardly surprising. For years, the entire Fang family had indulged Fang Yuan's every whim. Even if he is capable, his arrogant nature means he will never be able to run a family business. I cannot negotiate with you. Get your advisor or professor here. Fang Yuan clenched his fist, staring daggers at Yunmo. Yunmo did not care at all. He merely smiled and said, "Recently, many people have come looking for our team's advisor and professors, all because of our work with Rongxing Group on the bidding for the smart Robotic-Arm. Young Master Fang, as a former member of the Fang family, I should give you some advice. Baidu Encyclopedia has a detailed list of the researchers. My advisor and a professor from this university led the research, and my name is first among the participating researchers." After a brief pause, Yunmo smiled. "So, can you tell me now? Shall we continue this discussion?" Rongxing Group was one of the country's leading research and development conglomerates. It had raised funds and gone public in the United States. Its intelligent machinery products were highly sought after both at home and abroad. This robotic arm developed by Rongxing and Beijing University had already entered the bidding stage. Lately, many people had tried to secure the bid through the university team. Then what the hell is there left to discuss? Fang Yuan roared furiously. "You would be a good man if you did not stab me in the back. You would even help me. Now that you know, you should leave now." Yunmo remained perfectly composed. "But let me remind you, there is nothing we can do, no matter who comes. We did create the software, but the entire technology belongs to Rongxing. We only handle our own responsibilities. As for the bid, I can tell you in advance, the Fang family has no chance." Before Fang Yuan could speak, Yunmo told him directly, "Mi Corporation is already preparing to bid. Do you think you can compete with them?" Hearing that, Fang Yuan truly had nothing to say. The Fang family had little chance to begin with. Now that Mi Corporation had entered the bid, the outcome was practically decided. "So, please see yourself out." Yunmo pointed to the door. "I warned you. You refused to believe me. You insisted on humiliating yourself." Fang Yuan suddenly laughed. He pointed at Yunmo. "What does that have to do with you? You are only a team member. What I am does not matter, as long as I can disgust you." Yunmo cut him off with a smile. "Please, young Master Fang." After leaving Jingdu University, Fang Yuan and the other got in the car and left. He had not expected much from this visit anyway. Fang Changshan had merely told him to give it a try. He brought Cheng Jiahao only to find Yunmo and provoke him. Instead, Yunmo was the one who disgusted him. "Brother Peng, is there really no way?" Cheng Jiahao asked cautiously. "He holds 10% of the shares. From now on, that old woman does not think much of me, and she will not give up those shares, even if it kills her." At that thought, Fang Yuan gritted his teeth. "I have to get those shares. I will not give him a single cent. Everything in the Fang family belongs to me." The car pulled into the underground garage beneath Fang Corporation. The moment they got out, several black SUVs suddenly surrounded them. More than 20 bodyguards in black stepped out. Before Fang Yuan and the other two could react, two of them drew daggers. "What are you doing?" Fang Yuan instinctively backed away. Cheng Jiahao was so terrified that he collapsed onto the ground. The female secretary turned pale, trembling where she stood. "Young Master Fang, there is no need to be afraid." Uncle Zheng approached with his hands behind his back, one step at a time, wearing an easygoing smile. "Who we are is not important. Our master asked me to deliver a message. If you do not want anything to happen to Li Yuzhen, persuade your father to go to the nursing home himself and buy old Madame Fang's shares at the stated price. After Uncle Zheng finished speaking, he took out a photograph. A bodyguard in black took it, then shoved it into Fang Yuan's hands. When Fang Yuan saw what was in the photograph, he felt as though ice-cold water had been poured over his head. Tell me, what do you think would happen if Fang Changshan learned about what you and Li Yuzhen have done? Uncle Zheng adjusted his spotless white gloves. Given Fang Changshan's heartlessness, he will not rest until he has torn you apart and flayed you alive. I agree. Fang Yuan hurriedly put the photograph away. Cheng Jiahao had not seen it, but seen Fang Yuan's expression. He could not help growing curious. All right, I will not disturb you any longer. Uncle Zheng waved a hand. The bodyguards in black turned and got into the cars with him. Only after the cars had driven away did Fang Yuan collapse to his knees, his eyes vacant. Brother Peng. Cheng Jiahao was just about to speak, but Fang Yuan grabbed him by the collar. He snarled, "You will not tell anyone about today. Otherwise, you know the consequences." Cheng Jiahao quickly agreed, but when Fang Yuan got up and left with his secretary, Cheng Jiahao shot him a vicious glare and whispered, "Just wait, Fang Yuan. Sooner or later, I will kill you." Fang Yuan's greatest mistake was failing to understand this. A man who could betray Yunmo, the one who saved his life, had every reason to betray him too. After leaving the university, Yunmo first went to a bakery and bought for small cakes, besides the ones for Yuan and the children. He also brought Mi Cai a vanilla one. He drove to the heart of Jingdu's business district, Mi Tower. The entire 60-story building belonged to Mi Corporation. Every time he came, Yunmo felt that for more than 3 years, his life had felt like a dream. After parking outside the building, Yunmo carried the cakes into Mi Tower. When the pretty receptionist saw him, she hurried over and respectfully said, "Mr. Feng, you are here. Then I will head up." Yunmo gave her a polite nod. He headed for the president's private elevator, and no one stopped him. After all, when he had been slighted on his first visit, several receptionists and security guards had been fired. In the elevator, Yunmo sent Yuan a WeChat message, telling her he was on his way up. To his surprise, as soon as he stepped out, Mi Cai, Yuan, and the two little ones were already waiting for him. Daddy, Mi Wire, and Mi Zur hugged their father's legs together. Sister Hui walked over with a smile and said, "Mr. Feng, let me carry those for you." "Thank you, Sister Hui." Yunmo promptly handed her the items. Then he bent down and picked up both girls. "Why are you all? The children were eager to see you." "I did not have much to do anyway," Mi Cai said with a smile. "You bought more treats." "I promised Yuan and the girls some small cakes. I remembered you like vanilla, so I brought one for you too." Holding the children, Yunmo looked at Mi Cai and Yuan. He did not even realize it, but his gaze no longer shifted away from them. Instead, it held a trace of tenderness and longing. "Yuan, then I will take the children downstairs first." "No need. I had planned to take the children to the private restaurant I booked, but my cousin has business to discuss, so I had let him go instead." "Sister Hui, have someone order food for us." At Mi Cai's instruction, Sister Hui quickly took out her phone to make arrangements. "Brother, hurry to the lounge," Yuan urged him. "I am still waiting to eat my cake." Yunmo could only smile helplessly, urged along by Yuan and his daughters, while Mi Cai smiled beside them. He followed them into the lounge. Behind them, Sister Hui watched this so-called family of 5. She was happy, yet helpless, given the elder and younger Miss Mi's status. Even if two women shared one man, no one could object. But Sister Hui looked at Yunmo's retreating back. Her expression conflicted. Was this really fair to Yunmo? With a sigh, Sister Hui could not say anything. After all, like Uncle Zheng, she had taken part in the elder and younger Miss Mi's plan. Over the past several years, the lounge was spacious. There were 2 beds. Since the sisters shared one lounge, many things had been prepared in pairs. The lounge had not only a luxurious private bathroom, but even a bathtub. The food delivery arrived fairly quickly. Sister Hui summoned several women, dressed in black suits to help. Once the dishes were laid out, Mi Cai nodded to them. Sister Hui led them out. "Why don't you stay here tonight, instead of going home?" Mi Cai glanced at Yunmo as he served food to the children. "Yuan and I are both free tomorrow. We thought we could take the children out for some fun." "Xiaomo, can you take the day off?" "Sure, I can. Yunmo took out his phone. I just need to let my advisor know. There should not be anything urgent tomorrow. Then I will book a presidential suite. Mi Ran smiled. Brother can stay in one room with the girls, while my sister and I stay in the other. All right. Just then, Sister Hui pushed open the door and came in. She had brought drinks and heard Yunmo's answer. Her eyes flickered, but Mi Cai glanced at her. Their eyes met, seeing the suppressed madness in Mi Cai's eyes. Sister Hui quickly set out the drinks. She said nothing. Sister Hui, remember to bring the bottle of red wine you sent over last time. Make sure you bring it for me. At Mi Cai's words, Sister Hui quickly looked up, as if questioning her with her eyes. Mi Cai merely nodded. Sister Hui sighed softly. Then she said in a low voice, Understood. The eldest and second miss me. Were they going to make their move again? Sister Hui looked at Yunmo, who was eating, while soothing his daughters, and could not help pitying the man even more. Two women, bound by a suffocating, obsessive love. What expression would Yunmo wear when he learned the truth? Why are you bringing wine? Watching Sister Hui leave, Yunmo asked curiously. The children are here. Do not worry, brother. It is a good bottle of red wine. My sister and I will only have a little each. Mi Ren placed a slice of richly marbled beef into Yunmo's bowl. You know the company has been busy lately. A little wine will help us rest well. Yunmo did not ask further. After dinner, Sister Hui packed the red wine, along with the small cakes Yunmo had bought them. She followed them downstairs. In the car, the sisters held the children in the back seat. Mi Ran sent Yunmo the hotel's location. The hotel was not far from there, and they arrived shortly. The suite was large, with 2 bedrooms. It was the little girl's first time staying away from home, so they were excited. They played in the room with Yunmo for a while, but since they had skipped their afternoon nap to play at Mi Tower, they soon began whining that they were sleepy. Yunmo took them to wash up. Mi Cai and the others had been thoughtful. They had pajamas bought and delivered that afternoon. Once they changed into their pajamas, the 2 girls fell asleep shortly after getting into bed. Xiaomo, have a drink with me. Once the children were asleep, Mi Cai held out a glass of red wine to Yunmo. The money has been transferred to your account. Congratulations. No, I was just lucky. Yunmo was a little embarrassed. After all, his success was only possible because Mi Cai and the others had helped him. But Mi Cai said with a smile, Luck favors those who are prepared, does it not? Consider this a celebratory drink. Yunmo did not think much of it. He drained the wine in one gulp, but it tasted strangely bitter. For some reason, it tasted bitter. Come on. Mi Ran and I still have something to tell you. Yunmo suspected nothing. He followed Mi Cai into the room, but the moment he entered, Yunmo felt his head begin to spin. His body swayed. Brother, are you all right? Mi Ran hurried over to support him. How are you this dizzy after just 1 glass? Oh no, Mi Ran said in alarm. He drank my glass. This one was Xiaomo's. What do we do? I put a sleep aid in my glass. It is fine. Before Yunmo could finish, his entire body collapsed onto Mi Ran. Yunmo, nearly 6'3", fell against her. If Mi Cai had not helped, Mi Ran would not have been able to hold him up. Together, the sisters managed to get Yunmo onto the bed. The madness in Mi Ran's eyes was completely undisguised. A sickly smile curved her lips. Brother, why are you still so trusting? Take the children next door first. The nanny Uncle Changshan is already waiting. Mi Cai gently caressed Yunmo's cheek, but the obsessive possessiveness in her eyes was chilling beyond words. Miss, would you like to go over the engagement banquet arrangements again? Inside the Liu family villa, the butler asked Liu Ruyan, who sat blankly in a chair, but he received no response for a long while. No need. Do whatever you want. Liu Ruyan's voice was hoarse. She picked up her phone and headed upstairs. The Fang family's guest list still does not include young Master Mo. No, miss. The butler nodded. Should I send someone to deliver an invitation to Kyoto University? No need. Liu Ruyan returned to her room. The instant she closed the door, it was as though all her strength had vanished. Leaning against the snow-white door, she slowly sank to the floor. She knew that if she did nothing now, she truly would have no chance left. How had it come to this? Liu Ruyan murmured to herself, but no one answered her. Yunmo had cut ties with the Fang family. She had broken up with him, then publicly announced her relationship with Fang Jingtong. Now, she regretted it. Perhaps she had regretted it all along. But it was already too late. Like an ostrich burying its head in the sand, she did not dare ask about Yanmo. Instead, she fled the country in disgrace to study abroad. Suddenly, she touched the bracelet on her wrist. In that instant, light seemed to return to Liu Ryan's dim eyes. He will wait for me. He has to. Liu Ryan quickly rose to her feet. Yanmo is not a heartless man. I know I was wrong. Yanmo will understand me. Would he? Liu Ryan did not know. But she could only keep herself going by making herself believe that Yanmo would still wait for her. Trembling, she found her bag. She took out a newly purchased SIM card and put it into her phone. Yanmo had blocked every way she could contact him. She had no choice but to get a new card. After hesitating for a long time, she dialed the number she had always kept pinned at the top. Every ring tugged at her heart. At last, just before the call disconnected automatically, someone answered. But then, a beautiful voice, mature and feminine, with a trace of languor and weariness, plunged Liu Ryan into an icy abyss. Who is this? Liu Ryan could not believe it. At Yanmo's side, there was actually another woman. He had loved her so deeply before. How could this be happening? Who are you? Where is the owner of this phone? Liu Ryan's voice was full of anger. Upon hearing her voice, the woman on the other end seemed taken aback. Then she suddenly laughed. I was wondering who it was. Liu Ryan, huh? It is 11:49 p.m. I am holding his phone. Who do you think I am? Put Yanmo on the phone. Liu Ryan fought not to scream, but her voice would not stop shaking. The woman on the other end seemed even more delighted to hear it. I am afraid I cannot. He just fell asleep. After all, we went at it for hours. He is a little tired. Why do you not wait? I can wake him up. Shameless. Liu Ryan's face flushed bright red. It was not just the mature woman's voice on the other end, or her blunt words, but even more because of her fury and unwillingness to accept it. Yanmo, how could you sink so low? How could you? Just a reminder, little sister. I am his woman now, and I have even borne his child. Mi Cai wore a robe draped around her shoulders. Her cheeks flushed. Yanmo slept deeply beside her. Mi Ran emerged from the bathroom, drying her hair with a towel. Her cheeks were flushed as well, with a faint smile on her face. Impossible. How could he? Nothing is impossible. You gave him up. Did you not? Mi Cai said provocatively. So, Liu Ryan, do not contact him again. Otherwise, Mi Cai's voice suddenly turned ice cold. Even through the phone, Liu Ryan felt a bone-deep chill. I will make you regret it. Regret stealing him from us for all those years. He belongs to my sister and me. In this life, the next life, forever, he will be ours. Liu Ryan frantically hung up. Her mind was completely blank. Mi Cai's threat had been serious, with not a trace of humor. It even carried a terrifying madness and hatred. Who were they? Sisters. She did not remember that she and Yanmo ever knowing any sisters in their shared circle. That mature female voice had sounded familiar, but she could not remember where she had heard it. No, it is fake. It has to be fake. Liu Ryan hurled her phone away. She refused to believe Yanmo no longer loved her. She refused even more to believe he was with two women. They changed their voices. They must have. Liu Ryan seemed to have found a way to comfort herself. Yanmo, you are so childish. You are using this to hide the fact that you still care about me. You must still have feelings for me. Looking at the disconnected call, Mi Cai's lips curled slightly. After casually blocking the number, Mi Ran tossed aside her towel, walked to the bed, and kissed Yanmo. Yanmo was in a strange state. His gaze was vacant, his eyes slightly narrowed. He seemed conscious, yet seemed completely unaware. Brother will be all right, won't he? Hearing Mi Ran's question, Mi Cai rolled her eyes at her, then shoved her aside. You did not seem worried a moment ago. Relax. Once or twice will not hurt him. This drug leaves him somewhat conscious. It is just that. Overall, he is still in a half-awake, half-dreaming state. If you had not insisted on it, I would not have wanted to use it either. Sis, you were even more outrageous than I was just now. As for the drugs mentioned in this story, most of it is made-up nonsense. Do not apply it to real life. Mi Cai wrapped her arms around Yanmo's neck, whispering softly, Kiss me, Xiaomo. Yanmo was like a puppet. He only felt as though he were dreaming. It was as though two demonesses had captured him and claimed him as their own. He could not see their faces, yet he could clearly feel their love for him, and a suffocating possessiveness. Then voices seemed to seep into his mind. You are ours. You will always love only us. So, Do not be afraid. We will love you. We will love only you, forever. Yunmo felt utterly exhausted. He had no strength to resist. Each whisper lured him toward ruin, until he began to feel that surrendering to them might not be so bad after all. Sleep, Xiaomo. Mi Cai kissed Yunmo's cheek. By tomorrow, you will not remember. But that is all right. I will make you willing, until you can never leave us again. When he woke the next day, Yunmo felt sore and weak all over. His shoulders ached faintly too. How did I fall asleep? Yunmo was surprised by the room's layout. This should be the room Mi Cai and Mi Ren shared. He instinctively checked the neatly arranged sheets and duvet. There was not a single trace of anything. You are awake. Mi Cai walked in holding a glass of milk. She sat at the edge of the bed. With a hint of apology, she said, Sorry, Xiaomo. Work has been very stressful lately, so I have not been sleeping well. Yesterday, I added some sleep medication to the wine, but it was my first time doing that, and I did not get the dosage right. Yunmo stared blankly at Mi Cai. Nothing about this sounded right. What normal person puts medication in wine? As if she had expected this. Mi Cai pointed to the bedside table. See for yourself. I did not lie to you. Yunmo followed where she pointed. There really was a box of sleep medication. How much did you add? Yunmo still did not believe her. Why do I feel like yesterday? Yunmo thought for a long time, but he seemed unable to remember. What had happened last night? Mi Cai handed him the milk. Mi Ren and I are to blame. We made you drink 2 glasses too many. Afterward, you fell asleep here. Mi Ren and I went to stay with our daughters. Yunmo noticed the faint dark circles beneath Mi Cai's eyes. Feeling unexpectedly concerned for her, he asked, Did Wire and Zur keep you awake? It was all right. The girls were very well behaved. It is just that the 4 of us were crowded together last night, so it was rather uncomfortable. Mi Cai smiled. Actually, I wanted to stay and take care of you. But you always keep your distance from us. That is not it. Yunmo was about to say something, but Mi Cai suddenly placed her hand over his lips. The sudden intimacy made Yunmo blush at once. I know about what happened back then. You do not want to feel guilty forever, either. Mi Cai slowly withdrew her finger. And you know my sister likes you too. Both she and I have had children with you. It is only natural that you find it hard to choose. Mi Cai handed Yunmo the milk. She rose with a smile. It is all right. I can wait. Mi Ran can wait too. Drink your milk. Then get up. It is almost noon. I booked a nice Japanese restaurant. The children will be coming in to see you soon. Yunmo's lips moved, but he still said nothing about what happened back then. He had always felt something was not right, but he had never suspected the Mi sisters had orchestrated it, that the Mi families to heiresses had plotted to sleep with him, then bear his children. Who would believe such a thing? Over all the time they had spent together, Yunmo had felt the sisters' special affection for him, but he knew his place too well, and never dared return their feelings, because he knew he was not worthy of them. Yet Mi Cai and Mi Ran's tenderness, their patience and understanding, had slowly made him grow attached to them. With a helpless sigh, Yunmo drained the milk in one gulp. Unlike before, after being psychologically conditioned by Mi Cai, Yunmo, now, that conflict and confusion, left him even more at a loss. Should he leave, choose Mi Cai, or choose Mi Ran? He had no idea what to do. Why could he not have them both? The thought suddenly echoed in his mind. But Yunmo immediately cursed himself inwardly. Who did he think he was? He was not worthy of even one of them. Yet he dared dream of having both sisters. An inexplicable irritation rose within him, along with a deep sense of gloom. Yunmo lay back down, staring blankly at the ceiling. What should he do? Compared to Yunmo's dilemma, the Fang and Qin families were in far greater turmoil. The fraud at Qin's jewelry company had been proven true. Though Qin's was not a major jewelry company, it was still a well-known brand. And this time, a batch of gold necklaces had been adulterated, with their stated weights falsified. For a jewelry company, especially one involving gold jewelry, it was nothing short of destroying its own reputation. And that was not all. Problems were also found with Fang Corporation's products. Fang Corporation had made its fortune in shoes and apparel. Fang Changshan and Fang Yuan wanted to expand the business and make their mark in the new energy market. That was why they had sought to bid on Rongshan's intelligent robotic arms. They hoped to start with components and gradually move toward core technologies like batteries. But a massive fire suddenly broke out at a Fang Corporation warehouse. The cause was aging electrical wiring. There was no sign of foul play. But the problem was, the Fang Corporation warehouse had already been warned about safety hazards. They have failed to address them. As a result, the insurance payout was greatly reduced. Besides, those were new products about to be shipped. The breach of contract penalties would also be enormous. This disaster had effectively dealt Fang Corporation and King Corporation a crushing financial blow. How did both sides run into trouble at once? Fang Changshan flew into a rage in his study, while Qin Ni sat beside him with her head lowered, silent. What do we do now? Qin Ni finally asked after a long silence. My side has found the cause. It was an issue with the staff below us. We are investigating them one by one. We have also begun emergency public relations measures. Fortunately, only one of the two warehouses burned down. The other had already shipped its goods. We have sent people to negotiate over the rest, to buy time for replacement deliveries. Fang Changshan sat back in his chair, his face pale. This time, our combined losses are nearing 400 million yuan. Jinpeng advised me yesterday to buy the shares back from the old lady as soon as possible. Otherwise, if that ungrateful brat Yunmo makes a move now, we will be at an even greater disadvantage. At the mention of Yunmo, Qin Ni told Fang Changshan about the nursing home. After hearing her, Fang Changshan's brow furrowed deeply. Jinpeng mentioned it to me yesterday too. Are you sure? You mean the watch he was wearing is genuine? Almost certainly. He gave everyone at the nursing home a 20,000 yuan cash gift. Then there was that watch, one of only 8 in the world, and that limited edition Maybach. As Qin Ni said this, she was puzzled as well. Such extravagance. The woman backing Yunmo must be extraordinary. Qin Ni glanced at the pensive Fang Changshan and cautiously asked, why not speak to Dad? And have Yunmo come home? Jinpeng was the one in the wrong over that matter. You know that. The old man and the old lady are like fire and water. Because of that, he does not care for Yunmo either. Fang Changshan took out a cigarette and lit it. He took a deep drag. Besides, the old man originally used Yunmo to spite the old lady. Instead, it unexpectedly worked in Yunmo's favor. Qin Ni sneered inwardly. Spite the old lady? He sent his own grandson to live with her when she was all alone. And that was supposed to spite her? But she had no right to say anything. When Yunmo was sent away, she had her own selfish calculations. She had 3 daughters and 1 son, and Zhang Sifeng to support as well. So sending one child away naturally eased her burden considerably. More importantly, in her and Fang Changshan's eyes, Fang Yuan was their first priority. Even Zhang Sifeng was less important to her than Fang Yuan. Forget it. As for those shares, the old lady will never give them up for nothing. Irritated, Fang Changshan stubbed out his cigarette. I will speak to Dad. Why not have the second daughter help you? The Fang family's second daughter, Fang Yingying, served as Fang Corporation's deputy general manager. Fang Yuan was the general manager. All right, the second child is more dependable. Qin Ni nodded. The third is in the entertainment industry now. We cannot count on her. The eldest daughter works at Fang Corporation too. Changshan, why not have Fang Zhuang come home and help? Forget it. That ungrateful brat would love to see us all dead. Fang Changshan gave a cold laugh. Have you forgotten what happened back then? After things escalated that far, do you think the Fang family or your Qin family could still accept him? And who could he accept? Hearing Fang Changshan's words, Qin Ni's expression darkened. No mother is indifferent to her own son. Not even Qin Ni. But a person's love is limited. From the moment they sent Yunmo away, Fang Changshan and Qin Ni had chosen to give up their youngest son. They could not afford to raise him? They could not care for him? How could that be? This couple might not say it to each other, but each knew the ugliness in their own heart. Yunmo was brought back, not because his grandmother no longer wanted to raise him, nor merely because of her health. It was because Yunmo's grades were too exceptional. They did intend for Yunmo to join the family business, but never imagined he could replace Fang Yuan. But Yunmo's return also provoked Fang Yuan. He stirred up trouble throughout the house, framing Yunmo and inciting others, while his 3 doting sisters isolated and targeted Yunmo. Fang Changshan and Qin Ni knew all about it, but simply chose not to intervene. Between a son raised by his grandmother, whom they saw only a few times a year, and the 4 children they lived with every day, whom would they favor? The answer was obvious. Yunmo seemed mild-mannered, but he was not someone who would endure humiliation. After enduring it 3 times, Yunmo's retaliation was terrifying. After Fang Yuan deliberately threw Yunmo's study materials into the trash, at dinner that night, right in front of everyone, Yunmo slapped Fang Yuan 5 times. He had trained in martial arts since childhood, and he was in excellent physical condition. Fang Yuan's nose and mouth bled from the beating. From that day on, Yunmo saw the Fang family for what they truly were. Before his parents and grandfather, he threatened, "If he provokes me again, I will trade my life for his, and leave the Fang family without a single heir." His parents' favoritism, his grandfather's indifference, and his sister's mockery. By then, Yunmo had completely lost hope in the Fang family. But perhaps even Yunmo never expected his parents could be so shameless. They knew Ruyan was the Liu family's eldest daughter, and that their grandmothers had arranged her marriage to Yunmo. They knew Fang Yuan did not love Ruyan, and only wanted revenge on Yunmo. But, in their eyes, Yunmo could never inherit the family business. Fang Yuan was the best choice. So, whenever Fang Yuan bought Ruyan gifts, they gave him their full support. As for Yunmo, who barely cost them anything to support, they withheld every cent of his allowance. They only did not dare take from Yunmo the card his grandmother used to send him living expenses. A family bodyguard had tried once and ended up with a broken arm. His grandmother had once mocked the couple. "You two truly are made for each other. What favoritism toward the eldest son. You are only paying for your own sins." You did not raise Yunmo by your side because you feared he would seize power one day. They were not foolish. They simply calculated too much. They had each sent Yunmo away for their own selfish reasons. Naturally, they feared this son, who was not close to them, yet was more capable than their eldest son, would seize power. Fang Yuan's increasingly vicious behavior was merely their tacitly approved means of suppressing Yunmo. In their hearts, Yunmo was not even a fallback option. He was a discarded son. If Fang Yuan failed, there was still their eldest daughter, Fang Qingqing, their second daughter, Fang Yingying, even their third daughter, Fang Tingting, who had entered the entertainment industry. Even though Yunmo was a son, he was not close to them. Naturally, he was dispensable. Besides, the son refused to submit to their control and suppression. His talents could not be used for their benefit, so there was even less reason to care about him. In any case, I will inform Dad about this. Jinpeng is doing well over there now. Mi Corporation has joined the Robotic-Arm project, and with this mess at the company, we probably have no energy left to expand further into the new energy sector. Fang Changshan sighed. Fortunately, father and son had not invested much time or money early on. As for the Robotic-Arm project, they had never held much hope for it from the start. Fang Changshan knew Fang Yuan was merely looking for a chance to disgust Yunmo, so he had not paid it much attention. "We should still try again." Kinni hesitated. "We truly did not care enough about Yunmo back then. For the company's growth, we even allowed Jinpeng to steal his girlfriend. Give me a break. If Ruyan had any resolve of her own, would Jinpeng have had any chance to come between them? If Yunmo had been there, he would probably have given his biological father his first sincere round of applause. After all, to Yunmo, this was perhaps the only decent thing his biological father had ever said. Jinpeng is an idiot too. No matter what, he should never have hired a prostitute to harm his own brother." Thinking of what happened back then, Fang Changshan was deeply dissatisfied with his eldest son. Fine, he hired her, but he even lost Yunmo. Then he came back, exaggerated everything, and brought a prostitute to make a scene at their door. And Ruyan actually believed it. Forget it, that ungrateful brat was bound to turn against us sooner or later. Even without that incident, he could never have reconciled with us. At that point, Fang Changshan fell into deep thought. What if Yunmo really found himself a wealthy, powerful older woman in Jingdu? No matter how much he favored his eldest son, he had to admit that Yunmo had what it took. Just based on his looks, he had met some young male stars in the entertainment industry. If his youngest son entered that industry, he would outshine them all. If Yunmo really latched onto a wealthy older woman, the Fang family could not afford to offend. There was no guarantee Yunmo would not seek revenge. If he could charm her into spending so much on him, and whisper in her ear at night, the Fang and Qin could be in serious trouble. In any case, regarding the shares, as long as Dad agrees, give the money to Yunmo and his grandmother, and have that brat take it and get lost. Fang Changshan seemed to have found a solution. Make him sign the papers and leave the country. That much money will be enough for him to live on, and make him promise not to retaliate against us. Naturally, Yunmo had no idea what Fang Changshan and Kinni were thinking. He was in a private room at a Japanese restaurant, eating fresh grilled eel over rice. It was the most expensive Japanese restaurant in Jingdu. Every ingredient was flown in. Brother, I remember when you had Japanese food with me last time. You loved the Shizuoka-netted muskmelon most, did you not? Mi Ran smiled as she placed some marbled Wagyu beef onto Yunmo's plate. I spoke to the restaurant in advance. Everything is absolutely fresh. Yunmo kept his head down and ate, refusing to look up. Fang Weier looked curiously at her father. Daddy, why is your face so red? It is a little hot. How could his face not be red? He could feel the feet rubbing against his legs. He looked up at Mi Cai and Mi Ran. Both women were smiling as they watched him. Just eat. Do we not still have to take the child out to play later? Yunmo lowered his head and muttered, Stop messing around. In the past, Yunmo would likely have found an excuse to run away. But even he did not know how he had begun indulging the sister's increasingly inappropriate behavior. All right, Mi Cai shrugged. Resting her chin on her hand, she watched Yunmo. But she was speaking to the server. Bring out the dessert. Oh, Yunmo, would you come to the front desk with me? Sis, I am coming too. Mi Ran was about to object, but Mi Cai shot her a sharp look. Who is going to watch the child? Mi Ran was furious inside. Her obsession with Yunmo was real, but so was her instinctive deference to her older sister. Yunmo had no idea what was going on. After following Mi Cai out of the private room, he finally asked, What are we going to the front desk for? I want to buy some steak. This restaurant's steak is good. Mi Cai smiled. I want you to help me carry it. Can we not get it when we leave? Before Yunmo could finish, Mi Cai suddenly grabbed his hand and pulled him into an empty private room next door. Then she grabbed his collar and tugged him down, pressing a fierce kiss to his lips. Xiaomo, hold me. Desire laced Mi Cai's voice, along with tenderness and barely restrained madness, and Yunmo actually held her. Even Yunmo himself did not know why he had done it. Yunmo himself was surprised. He seemed to have become a little too obedient to her. But Mi Cai in his arms seemed even more thrilled. She wrapped her arms tightly around Yunmo's neck, deepening the kiss. It felt as if Yunmo's breath had been stolen away. All he could smell was Mi Cai's lovely perfume. I am sorry, Xiaomo. I like you. When the kiss ended, Mi Cai's eyes were hazy, and her voice was soft. Yunmo's mind was completely blank. The moment he heard Mi Cai confess, Yunmo kissed her of his own accord. Slowly, the two slid down the wall together. For the first time, Yunmo realized that Mi Cai, who was icy and unapproachable around strangers, yet as gentle as an older sister with him, could be this wild. She clutched his head tightly, as if she wanted to fuse him into her very bones and blood, as if she wanted to swallow him whole. I love you, Xiaomo. Mi Cai's breathing was ragged, as she whispered in Yunmo's ear, Never leave me. But before Yunmo could answer, Mi Cai kissed him again. A faint taste of blood slowly filled his mouth. He did not know whose lip had split, but Mi Cai paid it no mind, as though nothing else mattered to her. Only the man before her mattered. She wanted everything he had, his body and soul. She wanted them all for herself. Only after a long while did Mi Cai finally pull away from Yunmo. She caressed Yunmo's flushed lips, stained with lipstick, and smiled faintly. You finally wanted to hold me on your own. Yes. Yunmo's gaze was unfocused, as he stared blankly at the woman before him. Why me? I am not good enough for you. If I say you are good enough, then you are. Mi Cai gently drew Yunmo's head against her chest. Do not think about that. Think about where. Xiaomo, you were always meant to belong to Mi Ran and me. But Yunmo suddenly came to his senses, struggling to get away. But Mi Cai seemed to have expected it. She held him tight and refused to let go. Do not overthink it. Is this not nice? Mi Cai clung to him, burying his face against her chest. Xiaomo, do not think so much. Just remember that you are the child's father, and that you are our man. No, I am going to suffocate. The way Mi Cai held him really was deadly. Mi Cai hurriedly released Yunmo's head. He had barely taken a few breaths when Mi Cai, as if addicted, kissed him again. Just then, Yunmo's phone rang. Mi Cai kissed him. As she pulled out his phone, it was another unknown number. Yes, I need to answer it. He had finally caught his breath, but Mi Cai gave him no chance. She kissed him again, while swiping the screen to answer. She even turned on speakerphone. Yunmo, it is me. Liu Ryan's weary voice came through. It has been a long time. Can we meet? Hearing Liu Ryan's voice, Yunmo was surprised. But Mi Cai spoke directly. He and I are kissing right now. Miss Liu, have you forgotten what I told you yesterday? You again. Ruyan sounded as if someone had struck a raw nerve. Her voice rose several pitches. Who are you? Yunmo. Let Yunmo answer the phone. Yunmo was just about to speak when Mi Cai kissed him again. Compared with before, it was even more passionate and even more frenzied. When the kiss ended, Mi Cai saw that the call had ended and smiled. Then she lightly brushed Yunmo's cheek with his phone. What, do you want to get back together with her? No. Yunmo hurriedly shook his head. I was only wondering why she contacted me. You are not allowed to wonder. If you are curious in the future, you can only be curious about my sister and me. Mi Cai licked her lips, as though she still wanted more. Come on, let us go back. We can buy the steak when we leave. So she had slipped out with him just to do this. Yunmo sighed. He let Mi Cai imperiously pull him from the private room. To his surprise, they ran right into Mi Ran. She looked at her sisters and Yunmo's reddened lips, and her face instantly darkened. What is wrong, little sister? Mi Cai knowingly asked. Why are you so angry? Mi Ran shot Mi Cai a vicious glare, then grabbed Yunmo's hand and marched away. Mi Cai merely straightened her clothes, then returned to their private room with a smile. Mi Ran, listen to me. The same familiar private room. The same familiar wall. Only this time, the person sitting on his lap was someone else. Like a greedy beast, she wildly kissed Yunmo's face and lips. Yunmo did not know what was wrong with him. He had not resisted Mi Cai, and he let Mi Ran do as she pleased too. He knew this was wrong. Yet a voice in his mind kept telling him, do not reject them. They are the ones who love you most. Do not reject their affection. Brother, you are going to be the death of me. Mi Ran's restless hand slipped beneath Yunmo's clothes, caressing his skin. Yunmo's body stiffened involuntarily. And just then, Yunmo's phone rang again. It was Liu Ruyan again. The moment Yunmo took out his phone, Mi Ran snatched it away and answered. Yunmo, is that you this time? Nope, I am my sister. Mi Ran gave a light laugh like a mischievous little devil, though her eyes gleamed with burning intensity. Oh, I said that wrong. But it does not matter. Are you sure you still want to listen? Mi Ran hung up immediately. Then she looked at Yunmo with a mocking smile at the corner of her lips. Brother, you are getting a little greedy. I did not even get to say a word. Mi Ran. My lips are going to split open at this rate. Mi Ran did not listen to Yunmo at all. Instead, she kissed him forcefully. Meanwhile, at the office, Liu Ruyan slowly let the phone slip from her hand. They were not even the same person, and she sounded about the same age as him. Liu Ruyan threw her newly bought phone again. More than grief, she felt humiliated. What did they take her for? Part of their game? Or some kind of stimulant? Answering her calls on purpose, using her pain for their pleasure. What she could not accept even more was that there was someone else by Yunmo's side. Yunmo, must you punish me like this? Liu Ruyan slumped over her desk, stifled sobs escaping her. After a long while, she suddenly stood up. She hastily wiped the tears from her face. Yunmo, you are mine. I will not give up. Yunmo rubbed his lips, red and swollen from kissing. Something about this felt wrong. He could not shake the feeling that he had become unable to refuse Mi Cai and Mi Ran's overly intimate demands. The feeling made him uneasy. It was as though he had been bewitched, or placed under a spell. Who kisses the older sister, then kisses the younger sister right after? He had never thought of himself as someone who wanted them both. Yet he seemed to be slowly becoming someone who wanted them both in his arms. More than that, he felt himself growing ever more dependent, less and less able to live without Mi Cai and Mi Ran. And what happened today had allowed a certain suppressed feeling in his heart to slowly break free. He did not want to leave them. He longed to be loved. His parents despised him. His sisters rejected him. His biological brother wanted him dead. His lover and friends betrayed him. At his lowest point, Mi Cai and Mi Ran came with the two children and appeared before him, like light illuminating his darkness. He did not know whether what he felt for Mi Cai and Mi Ran was love, but it seemed more complicated and even more intense. But he did not dare dwell on it. He did not feel worthy of it. Yet the more he suppressed it, the stronger his feelings for them became. He suddenly realized he was like a lyric from Red Rose, snakes coiling around his heart. Mi Cai and Mi Ran truly seemed like two snakes, slowly coiling around his heart and capturing it. Are you all right? Seeing Yunmo lost in thought, Mi Cai gently took his hand. Only then did Yunmo come back to himself. A little embarrassed, he tried to pull his hand away, but Mi Cai held it tightly, smiling as she softly said, "Do not reject me, Xiaomo." Hearing Mi Cai's words, Yunmo sighed. He truly stopped struggling. After they finished eating cantaloupe and came out, Mi Cai suddenly received a message. Ruyan has come to the care home. Mi Cai's gaze turned dark and unreadable. Then she gave a faint smile and put away her phone. After getting in the car, Mi Cai suddenly said, "How about we go see Grandma?" Can we?" Yunmo had wanted to take the children to spend more time with Grandma, but he had been too embarrassed to ask. After all, his situation was hardly honorable. Besides, the Mi family was extremely protective of the two little girls. That made Yunmo even less willing to bring it up. It is all right. Besides, the children like their great-grandmother too. To Yunmo, Mi Cai was like a gentle older sister, patient and tender. Of course, he did not know it was all an act. It was true that Yunmo wanted to take the children to see Grandma, but more than that, he could not wait to see Ruyan give up completely. At the care home, Grandma looked at the uneasy Ruyan and could not help sighing. "Ryan, you did not come all this way just to visit this old woman. I am afraid you have another reason for coming, do you not?" "Grandma, I regret it." Ruyan could not stop the tears from falling. "Fang Yuan deceived me back then. I do not want to get engaged now. I want to marry Yunmo." "Ryan, I do not wish to condemn what you did in the past. First, out of respect for your grandmother. Second, it is all in the past." Grandma's tone hardened. "But think about what happened back then. Before Xiaomo was falsely accused. What did you do? Did you truly think I did not know?" Ruyan looked at Grandma, her lips trembling. She wanted to defend herself, but could not say a word. "You met Xiaomo when you were 15. Xiaomo had an accident then, and lost part of his memory. At first, I never expected you two to end up together. The grandchildren of our two families attended the same school. It was only natural that you looked out for each other. You were the one who said you loved Xiaomo. You said you would marry him. That is why we arranged your engagement. You had met more than once since childhood. You may not have grown up together as childhood sweethearts, but you had known each other for a long time. You went on dates with Fang Yuan behind Xiaomo's back, and accepted his gifts. You even..." Grandma coughed several times in anger. Aunt Zhang hurriedly helped her catch her breath. Grandma waved her away, then continued, "You spent the night at a hotel with him. You had not broken up with Xiaomo then, had you?" It was like thunder crashing beside her ears. Ruyan's body shook violently. She lowered her head, unable to meet Grandma's eyes. From the first time Fang Yuan met Ruyan, he began pursuing her. He was the favored one in the Fang family. He had hundreds of thousands at his disposal. He would buy gifts worth hundreds of thousands, without batting an eye. Besides, Fang Yuan was a smooth talker who spent his nights in clubs, and Ruyan was young and naive after all. Gradually, she contacted Fang Yuan more and more often behind Yunmo's back. Fang Yuan spoke badly of Yunmo behind his back, and she went from disbelieving him to slowly believing him. When Yunmo found out, he had his first huge fight with her. In a fit of rage, Ruyan actually accused Yunmo of being petty and jealous of his own brother. She said he deserved to be unloved. She even went drinking with Fang Yuan to spite him. In the end, under the influence of alcohol, she went to a hotel with Fang Yuan. "Are you wondering how I know?" Grandma gave a cold laugh. "A playboy like Fang Yuan has caused so many messes, and my son had to clean them up for him. I told your grandmother long ago, but you probably thought I was merely taking Yunmo's side. So, you did not believe a word of it. The very next day, you went and provoked Yunmo. Did you not notice that from that day on, Yunmo had already begun pulling away from you? You think calling off the engagement in the end, then getting together with Fang Yuan, was what hurt him? You had hurt him long before that." Ruyan rose to her feet emotionally, her voice hoarse as she said, "No, Grandma, that day. Nothing like that happened that day. Does it matter whether it happened? A woman who has a boyfriend spends the night at a hotel with another man. Who do you think would believe that nothing happened between you?" Grandma was becoming agitated, and her breathing grew uneven. Xiaomo is no longer a young master of the Fang family, and this old matriarch of the Fang family is of no consequence either. For a lady of your standing, Miss Liu, my grandson is not worthy of you. Ruyan felt her vision go dark. She had always thought Yunmo did not know about this. Fang Yuan had also promised to keep it secret for her. But Yunmo had known all along. No wonder. No wonder. The day he left the Fang family, and I broke up with him, he was so calm. Before Ruyan could dwell on the past, the door was suddenly pushed open. Yunmo stood expressionlessly in the doorway, looking at Ruyan. After all this time, seeing the man she had longed for day and night again, Ruyan could barely restrain her yearning. She nearly threw herself into his arms. But when she saw Yunmo's cold gaze, it felt as if blades were carving through Ruyan's heart. Ruyan, we broke up a long time ago. Do not come and disturb my grandmother again. There was not a trace of emotion in Yunmo's voice, nor any warmth. You should be preparing for your engagement to Fang Yuan. Not coming here. Yunmo. Ruyan reached out and tried to go to him, but the chubby little children poked their heads out, one on either side of him. They looked at Ruyan, then looked up at Yunmo and asked, Dad, who is she? Ruyan felt all strength leave her body. She staggered back to steps and grabbed a chair, barely keeping herself from falling. She desperately wanted to tell herself they were not Yunmo's children, but the girl's features were as though they had been molded from the same caste as Yunmo's. You are married? No. But they are indeed my children. Yunmo bent down and patted Miwei and Mizuir's heads. Your great-grandma is over there. Why have you not said hello? Great-grandma. The two little girls ran to the bedside on their short legs. The moment Grandma saw the little girls, her face lit up with delight. My sweethearts are here. Come here, great-grandma. We'll see whether you have put on weight. Ruyan stared blankly at the two children, then at Yunmo. Without expression, Yunmo pointed toward the door and said, Let us talk outside. With that, Yunmo turned and left the hospital room. Ruyan hurried after him. The moment she stepped out of the room, she saw Mi Cai and Mi Ren standing outside. Despite Ruyan's supreme confidence in her looks and figure, when she saw the sisters, she could not help feeling utterly outshone. Besides, she knew them. Or rather, among the elite circles of the capital, there was no one who did not know the Mi families to princesses. Hello, Miss Liu. Mi Ren greeted her with a smile. As soon as Mi Cai saw an outsider, she returned to her usual aloof, unapproachable manner. She merely gave a slight wave, then folded her arms again, her peach blossom eyes coolly assessing Ruyan. At the sound of Mi Ren's voice, Ruyan's scalp went numb. On the second call she had made to Yunmo, the voice she heard had sounded almost exactly like Mi Ren's. Brother, why do you not go buy us some drinks? Mi Ren said to Yunmo with a smile. Some things are easier for women to discuss among themselves, are they not? Just as Yunmo was about to speak, but Mi Cai reached out and patted the back of his hand. The coldness vanished from her face, replaced by a gentle smile. Go on, it is fine. Yunmo considered it, then nodded. He turned back and said to Ruyan, Ruyan, what is past is past. We should both face reality. Yunmo, listen to my explanation. Ruyan hurried after the departing Yunmo, but Mi Cai turned to look at her. Her gaze was deep and icy, frightening Ruyan into not moving another inch. Miss Liu, the children inside, are my sisters and mine. Their father, of course, is Yunmo. Mi Ren clasped her hands behind her back. She wore a smile, but it never reached her eyes. I am telling you so you will give up, and I am not afraid of you spreading it around. You are a smart woman, Miss Liu. You should know the consequences if this gets out, shouldn't you? You and Vice President Mi. You did not expect that, did you? The smile on Mi Ren's face deepened. You have seen it yourself, Miss Liu. Whether it is me or my sister, which of us do you think you can compare yourself to, Miss Liu? Ruyan was overwhelmed by a crushing sense of helplessness and suffocation. Not only did Yunmo have children, he had them with the Mi sisters. How was that possible? Even more unbelievable, the Mi family had actually accepted it. Miss Liu, I have made myself perfectly clear. A barely noticeable smile touched Mi Cai's lips. You are in the past now. Do not contact Xiaomo again. Otherwise, we would not mind making the Liu family pay dearly. After a brief pause, Mi Cai suddenly said in a faintly provocative tone, So, Miss Liu, what exactly do you have to compete with us for him? And Miss Liu, is the tenderness you stole really worth so little? What do you mean? When Mi Cai mentioned stealing again, Ruyan visibly grew more nervous. When did I ever steal anything? I have known Yunmo since we were children. You too, on the other hand. I know the Mi family has power over everything, but I have known Yunmo longer, and I understand him better. Suddenly, Mi Ren seized her by the hair. then viciously slapped her across the face. Bitch, if not for you, how could I have been separated from brother for so long? Mi Ran's eyes blazed with brutality and murderous intent. Ruyan, when brother was 15, why did he lose his memory? Do you dare tell him? Mi Ran's grip was incredibly strong. Ruyan's face immediately swelled up, and her ears rang. When Mi Ran mentioned Yunmo at 15, Ruyan became even more flustered. Mi Ran violently shoved her aside. Mi Cai stepped forward and took her sister's hand. Then she turned to Ruyan. A chilling aura slowly radiated from her. Clutching her face, Ruyan involuntarily backed away several steps. Ruyan, I can give you a chance, Mi Cai said coldly. You have seen it. My sister and I already share Yunmo. I do not mind sharing him with one more woman. Sister. Upon hearing Mi Cai's words, Mi Ran anxiously tried to speak, but Mi Cai glanced at her, signaling for her to stay quiet. As for Ruyan, after hearing this, she briefly wondered if Mi Cai had gone mad. The sisters were already sharing one man, and had even borne his children. That was shocking enough. Yet Mi Cai was offering her a chance to become the other woman. As long as you do me one favor, I will give you that chance. Mi Cai looked utterly confident. So, Ruyan, will you agree? When Yunmo returned carrying a bag of drinks, Ruyan was already gone. Mi Cai stood at the door. When she saw Yunmo return, she affectionately linked her arm through his. She said softly, do not worry. I have already spoken to her. I am sorry. I should have spoken to her myself. Yunmo sighed. I really do not understand. She is about to get married. So, why did she come looking for me? All right, do not dwell on it. Like a gentle wife, Mi Cai straightened Yunmo's clothes. Mi Ran is inside. You, Mi Ran, and the children should spend more time with grandma. I will make a call and handle some company business. Mi Ran, if you have matters at work, you should head back first. It is fine. My brother is handling things at the company. Once grandma is resting, we will go home together. Mi Cai deliberately stressed the words. Go home. Warmth filled Yunmo's heart. He nodded, just as he pushed open the door to go in. Yunmo quickly took a bottle of water from the bag and handed it to her. I know you do not really like sweet drinks. I bought this for you. Silly boy. Mi Cai caressed Yunmo's cheek. After taking the water, she sent Yunmo inside first. Once the hospital room door closed, Mi Cai's gaze turned dark and unreadable. Give Ruyan a chance? If she could, she would not even want to give her own sister, so much like herself, a chance. But Mi Ran was her biological sister, and they shared a deep bond. Besides, those memories from back then were shared by both sisters and Yunmo. As for Ruyan, Mi Cai wanted nothing more than to kill her. But for now, Mi Cai needed her as a pawn. Do not worry, Xiaomo. I will make the Fang family suffer beyond measure. Mi Cai pressed her cheek against the hand that had just caressed Yunmo, as though she were nuzzling close to her beloved. They are too filthy. They do not deserve to be your family. Ruyan too. How could she possibly deserve to covet you? Xiaomo, you belong to Mi Ran and me. Only us and our daughters are the people closest to you. I want so badly to lock you away. So, you will never leave my side. After leaving the nursing home, Ruyan drove a Porsche, racing back to the company. As Mi Cai's words echoed in her mind, the ones behind all this are the Fang family. As long as you agree to my plan, I will give you my assistant's number. Contact him if you need anything. Once you have done it, I can allow you back at Xiaomo's side. I will even persuade him. After all, other than grandma, he only listens to my sister and me now. The car suddenly stopped. Ruyan let out a long breath, then started the car again, speeding back to the Liu group even faster. Whatever. Mi Cai, Mi Ran. How sincere can either of you be? Ruyan muttered with a cold laugh. Once Yunmo accepts me again, I will sell everything I own and take him abroad. So it was them back then. I never would have guessed. But what does that change? If I could steal him once, I can steal him a second time. After spending some time with grandma, seeing the two little darlings had lifted her spirits considerably. Grandma adored Mi Wire and Mi Zuer, but she also understood that for her grandson to receive such treatment now was already surreal enough. Grandma knew exactly what standing the Mi family held. In Jingdu, they stood in a league of their own. Not only had they not made things difficult for Yunmo, they even let him, as their father, be there for his daughters, Mi Cai and Mi Ran. could not visit often, but they treated her like family. But Grandma herself now felt her health worsening by the day. In every 24 hours, she slept more than she was awake. The one she worried about most was Yunmo. The Fang family had committed far too many wrongs. She could not manage them, nor did she want to. But when it came to Yunmo, she simply could not set her mind at ease. To women, to daughters. And the women were sisters. Great-grandma ate. Mizur held an orange up before Grandma. Grandma froze for a moment, then smiled and gently pushed it back. She lovingly patted Mizur's head. Good girl, Zur. You eat it. The little girl shook her head. Her chubby little hand still held out the orange. Warmth flooded Grandma's heart. She opened her mouth. Only then did Mizur smile happily and place the orange in Grandma's mouth. If Great-grandma eats more, she will get well, Mizur said in her sweet, childish voice. Hearing that, Grandma's eyes reddened. She knew her time was likely running out. Yet she smiled, stroking Mizur's cheek as she said, Zur is right. Great-grandma will eat more, all right. As she spoke, Miwire also came over. She held up the big cherries Miran had bought on the way over. With a pitiful look, she asked, Great-grandma will not eat Wire's cherries. I will eat them all. Grandma pulled both little girls into her arms, fighting hard to keep her tears from falling. If she could, she truly wished to stay with her grandson and to great-granddaughters for a few more years. Yunmo watched from the side without a word. Then he turned and left. Miran hurried after him. Yunmo stood by a window in the hallway, staring blankly out the window. The weather is beautiful. There is not a cloud in the sky. Brother, please do not be sad. Miran took Yunmo's hand. We did everything we could. I know that if you had not helped me, Grandma would not have held on this long. Yunmo turned away, not wanting Miran to see him cry. This day was bound to come sooner or later. I can accept it. Miran gently put an arm round Yunmo's shoulders, resting her head lightly against his arm. Her voice was soft. Brother, you still have my sister and me. And your daughters too. So please do not be sad, brother. Mi Cai watched quietly from the side. For once, she was not thinking about how to compete with her sister for Yunmo, thinking of what had made Yunmo so sad. A vicious glint flashed through Mi Cai's eyes. Then she took out her phone and walked to the stairwell corner. She dialed a number. Meanwhile, in the Mi Group president's office, when he saw the caller identification, Mi Cai's call startled him so badly that he nearly leapt from his chair. Mi Qian was the son of Mi Cai's eldest uncle, and the current president of the Mi Group. Sis, what is it? Once he answered, Mi Qian sounded utterly submissive. Look, you and Miran have both abandoned your work to go keep my brother-in-law company. I have not said a word about it. So, whatever you need, please do not make things hard for your brother. It is nothing much. I want Xiaomo to join Rongxing Group. And regarding the Fang family, what is the plan for dealing with the Fang family next? Mi Cai asked coolly, in the same tone she would use with a subordinate. After silently cursing into the phone, Mi Qian gave his report. Do not worry about Rongxing. I am a major shareholder. Besides, my brother-in-law's abilities speak for themselves. As for the fire at the Fang family's warehouse, they managed to save part of the stock, and they still have another warehouse of goods. They definitely suffered losses. People have already begun filing claims, but it has not crippled them yet. After a moment's thought, Mi Qian continued, Actually, you do not need to do this. If you truly want to bankrupt them, that would not be difficult. Why go to all this trouble? That would be far too easy on them. Mi Cai sneered. Did you handle what I asked? Mi Cai. I am the president. Yes, so, is it done or not? Mi Qian felt utterly humiliated, but he truly could not afford to offend the sisters. He could only answer helplessly. Do not worry. I have already hired someone to spread word that they want to buy the shares held by old Madame Fang. They are not connected to us. The Fang family should not notice. Understood. I have already handled those two projects. I will have Sister Hui deliver them to you shortly. Hearing Mi Cai say it so casually, Mi Qian was still stunned. The two projects were worth over 10 billion yuan combined. Yet Mi Cai had settled them as if it were nothing. Then again, it made sense. Mi Cai had double majored in finance and psychology at university. Miran had been the top finance student in her class, and she was also a renowned designer. If those two were not hopelessly obsessed with love, he could have retired and gone fishing by now. But they only ever revolved around Yunmo. As a result, forget fishing. He had to let them use him as their errand boy. Whenever anything happened to Yunmo, or whenever they wanted some time alone with Yunmo, they would dump all their work on him. At times like this, Mi Cai would get furious for exactly 1 second. He could not afford to provoke them, not at all. Only Yunmo thought they were sweet, delicate little flowers. When the Mi family had faced such a huge crisis before, the sisters had come through even the hardest times unscathed. How could they possibly be fragile little flowers? Oh, that Roger Dub's watch you bought last time. You had me pull strings to order it. I thought it was for me. Hearing Mi Cai say that, Mi Cai answered as if it were obvious. It was for Yunmo. So I am completely unnecessary. I only brought this humiliation on myself. Wait, I even paid for it. Mi Cai. But Mi Cai had already hung up. Do they seriously see me as nothing but an errand boy? I arranged the watch, and I paid for it. And you used it to sweet-talk the girl's father. Mi Cai ground his teeth in fury. But there was nothing he could do. Forget it. I must have saved a notorious bandit in my past life to end up with these two ungrateful brats. After grumbling for a while, Mi Cai was also curious. In truth, Yunmo was well liked by the Mi family's elders, especially Mi Cai's own grandmother. Everyone in the Mi family knew that this mess was caused by Mi Cai and Mi Ran acting recklessly. In a way, Yunmo was a victim too. The family had originally planned for Mi Ran to marry Yunmo, with Mi Wire registered under Yunmo and Mi Ran's names as Mi Ran's daughter. But no one knew what Mi Cai had done. The family had more or less accepted the sisters sharing one husband. Cousin-in-law, you had better live a long life. Mi Cai remembered how, over Yunmo, the sisters had destroyed countless pieces of furniture at home. Their madness had been truly terrifying. Mi Cai and Mi Ran were, in fact, to wild beasts. Only Yunmo could soothe them. After leaving the sanatorium, Yunmo drove back to the estate. When Uncle Zheng saw the family of 5 return, he let out a sigh of relief. The other servants were relieved as well. They had been gone so long that everyone feared their eldest miss had taken the children. And eloped with Yunmo. The moment he returned, Yunmo received a call from an unknown number. Frowning, Yunmo answered. Well, you ungrateful son. You actually blocked my number. Fang Changshan's cold voice sounded from the other end. Tell your grandmother, I will value her shares at 600 million yuan. I will not offer a cent more. Bring the share authorization papers back tomorrow. Fang Changshan could not wait any longer. Several major companies had already expressed interest in buying that 10% stake. Of course, he had no idea Mi Cai was behind it. Fine. Yunmo responded flatly. Then, regardless of whether Fang Changshan had more to say, he hung up. He immediately blocked the number. Fang Changshan was about to say more, but Yunmo had hung up on him. When he called again, he could not get through. That ungrateful son. Fang Changshan slammed his hand on the desk. Fine. You think I will hand over that money so easily? You ungrateful brat. I never should have brought you home to torment me. Yunmo stared at his phone screen, his eyes burning as though filled with fire. To say he had not been hurt back then would have been a lie. His biological parents had not only denied him everything he should have had, they had even helped his older brother scheme to destroy his relationship with Ruyan. To them, profit mattered more than anything. They had raised Fang Yuan since childhood, so naturally he was closer to them. Yunmo, meanwhile, had been sent to his grandmother when he was 2. Over an entire year, he could count his meetings with them on one hand. Sometimes they would only glance at him before leaving. But was that his fault? They were the ones who chose to send him away. Was it wrong for him not to feel close to them? He had barely even understood what biological parents were. Not until something happened when he was 15. Was he brought back to the Fang family? He knew perfectly well that if his grades had not been exceptional then, they would never have thought to take him back. Even after bringing him home, they only intended to use him as Fang Yuan's tool in the future. At university, he refused to study finance and insisted on majoring in computer engineering. Over this, Fang Changshan cursed him viciously. But Yunmo did not care in the slightest. He wanted to choose his own future, not become someone else's stepping stone. Daddy, dinner is ready. Mi Wire and Mi Zhuo ran over and took Yunmo's hands. The hostility in Yunmo's eyes slowly faded when he saw the children. Holding their hands, he went with them to the dining room. That night, after putting the 2 children to sleep, Yunmo returned to his room. He had just finished showering and changed into his pajamas when his phone rang. It was another unknown number. Hello, Yunmo. When he answered, Liu Ruyan's hoarse voice came through, with a faint slur of drunkenness. Hearing her voice, Yunmo sighed. I have to admire you. Things got this ugly today, and you are still calling me. He did not know about what happened last night. Otherwise, Liu Ruyan's persistence would have stunned him. Will you leave them? Liu Ruyan asked pitifully, her voice choked with tears. The children. If you love them, I can treat them as my own. If they will not let you take them, I can have children for you too. Ruyan, I told you. We both need to face reality. Yunmo rubbed his brow. For more than 3 years, you publicly announced your relationship with Fang Yuan, then went abroad to study. All that time, you never gave me a thought. What is the point of this now? I am just afraid that I have wronged you. Liu Ruyan sobbed as she spoke. In the past, whenever he heard her cry, Yunmo's heart would ache, and he would feel sorry for her. But now, he felt nothing at all. Throughout these years, Mi Cai and Mi Ran had been by his side, along with the children. When he had been at his most helpless and desperate, they were the ones who reached out to him. He did not know what future awaited the three of them, but he was willing to remain at the sisters' side. Ruyan, do not call again. I do not want to repeat myself. Let the past stay in the past. Yunmo's tone was calm. Now, Liu Ruyan could no longer stir his emotions. You saw it. I have children now. No matter what, I will not betray their mothers. Yunmo, you are such a fool. Liu Ruyan suddenly laughed. How can you trust them so completely? You know the Mi family standing in Jingdu, and the wealth they possess. How could a family like that allow something so absurd? In the end, you will be the one who gets hurt, and the one they abandon. Yunmo, stop fooling yourself. For all these years, the Mi sisters have looked down on everyone. Countless heirs from elite families could not win them over. You and they are from different worlds. Yunmo, we have known each other since childhood. Do not forget, when you were 15, you would not have survived without me. Consider this repayment for saving your life. Be with me. We will leave the country together and never come back. Hearing Liu Ruyan's words, Yunmo sighed. When he was 15, he was injured and lost part of his memory. After waking, he learned from others that Liu Ruyan had claimed she saved him. While they were together, Yunmo gave her his whole heart. It was not only because he truly loved her then. There was another reason. This was it. Ruyan, I cannot abandon my daughter because of that, Yunmo said with a bitter smile. Besides, you betrayed me first. With that, Yunmo hung up. This time, he did not block the number. After hearing Yunmo's words, Liu Ruyan could only clutch her head and weep. Yunmo had meant to save the number, but hesitated. He deleted the call record. After all, Liu Ruyan had saved him. If she was ever in trouble, Yunmo might help her. But beyond that, Yunmo would not agree to anything else. Just then, the door suddenly opened. Mi Cai wore a seductive black and gold nightgown. Its deep V-neck revealed her fair skin. Her full breasts were barely concealed. Mi Cai, why are you? Seeing what she was wearing, Yunmo felt a little embarrassed. Before he could finish, Mi Cai suddenly rushed into his arms and held him tightly. Xiaomo, I want you. Mi Cai's voice was soft, but her eyes burned with desire. Yunmo froze. For a moment, his mind could not process it. The next second, Mi Cai seized Yunmo by the collar and pressed her lips to his. Yunmo was utterly swept away.